You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Hello guys, welcome to our third episode of the second season. I'm Gushi filling in for Paco. We have Ryan Lanteigne, FD's favorite judge, filling in for Drift Idiot Sam.
Nalven,
and then we got Jensen Argyle, the third or the fourth, filling in for Corey.
Here I am.
So here we are.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Hi.
We have a great episode planned for you. We have no guests at all.
Just us.
It's just us.
Pizza, and we got
No
ice cold beer.
script. We got no script.
It's the off season, so nothing's happening. So we have nothing to talk about at all. But I think Jensen here wanted to talk about eating pizza.
Yeah.
And maybe eat the pizza for you live.
So it's delicious. It's very cheesy. Pizza, you got something to say? Nothing, but
I think some of the questions that the fans had for us earlier is Jensen.
Yeah.
When are you guys making a comeback into what is that track live side feed?
I think maybe this year we might do a little comeback tour. It might be a good. Hey, how you doing? We haven't been here in a while, but here we are.
What do these guys talk about during the show anyways? Like, how do they come up with the script of the questions?
Yeah, we've never listened to an episode, so we have no clue.
I don't even know what we're doing.
I don't know either.
I think we're just here to eat pizza and try out the garlic sauce and everything else.
We should open the garlic sauce.
That's probably pretty good. Yeah, dip this. Look at it. What we got here.
It's really gross.
I mean, this year I've been doing a lot of truck driving.
So what's your off season been like, Jensen?
Basically,
let's get this going here.
I've been doing a lot of weight training. Hey, dudes.
Idiots doing here.
Hey.
What are you girls doing here?
What's
going on?
You guys are in the wrong bar. This isn't.
You guys should kiss.
Yeah, you guys are in the wrong.
You guys are almost kissing.
I just had
We're doing a show here, guys. If you
Yeah.
can
This
please
is
get
not
out of
what I
here.
expected.
No, don't sit down. Nobody said you could sit down.
you guys-
I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, we've. Well, it's funny. Hold on, let me get my earbuds in so I can hear what you guys sound like.
I don't sound like anything.
Why do their headphones look so good and yours?
Well, the thing is that when you come into my house and steal my shit, you want to go for the good ones. So you guys messed up.
I got the garlic sauce.
And Jensen doesn't even have headphones or a microphone.
Why?
Apparently.
Because I don't want to listen to your shit.
Well,
walking up here, it sounds like you guys had a pretty good handle on the show leading up to this. I was kind of blown away. You guys had really good dialogue.
I think this one started off as pretty much the best episode ever of this show until you three showed up.
Yeah.
hey, Ryan, can I be talking to the mic?
Like this?
No,
Aim it up a little.
Like this.
that's pretty good. I mean,
There you go.
Like that?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Kiss it.
Did you bring your notes?
Jensen? No, I didn't. Don't.
Fuck.
That was like 3 years ago. I don't know why that's still being brought up as a thing.
I'm glad it's done.
3 years ago, guys. 3 years
That's
ago.
gonna be forever.
Well, what was it? Did you actually have notes on it?
I always have notes.
Jesus Christ, you're good. What do you keep it on? Do you keep it on like on your phone, or do you keep like a Anne Frank? What is that? The
Jesus.
Whoa.
what is that called again? Lisa
All right,
Frank.
Take two.
The diary? You talking about diary?
Yeah. What is that one called?
Anne Frank's diary?
I can't remember. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Whatever.
Well, anyways, here we are. We've got Ryan Lanteigne, the most beloved judge, I believe. Would you say that you are?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
We all get equal amount of hate mail between the three of us.
Really?
so.
Andy doesn't get more?
I don't think he does. He might keep it for himself. I don't know.
He probably has him plastered on his wall.
I want to say the most hate mail comes from the fans.
Hold on, you can't talk yet.
Oh,
Ken, you haven't been introduced yet.
I'm sorry.
All right. Without further ado, Ken Gushi.
Hey.
All right, Ken, whenever you're ready.
Now you can talk. Go ahead, Ken. Tell us.
All right, so my question regarding this whole hate mail and this most beloved or hated judge is, you guys get the majority of your hate mail from fans, am I correct? Like, we don't send you guys hate mail. I mean, I haven't. I don't know.
How many hate mails do you send, Jens?
I send probably about 60 a day.
60 hate mails a day.
To the judges?
Yeah. To everybody.
Hey, I ordered some pizza. I missed the pepperoni. You guys suck. Call me back when you get a chance.
Discount my next meal. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hatemail.com.
Jensen. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're sending that to the right place, directly to us.
Why are you guys in our house?
What happened?
What are you doing here?
Hanging out.
Free food.
Well, yeah, it's kind of weird to have us three sitting in the same, I guess, on the same table, but
Well, it makes sense that Jensen's here. Out of everybody, it makes sense that he's the one.
Free pizza.
Yeah, there's pizza.
Wow,
There's pizza here.
And silver bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But you guys are in Arizona. You allowed to talk about what you're doing, or is this top secret?
It's not top secret.
It's not even. It's not very cool. I just want to throw that out there. It's not good.
No, it's
you're driving
it's
Priuses
no
against walls.
secret that I work in the automotive industry and have for years. That's how I got into drifting in the first place, and it just so happened that Ken and I ended up working on the same contract this week.
Wait, and can you say what you're doing?
yeah,
It's pretty goofy.
Did you call him Ken Goofy?
Ken Goofy.
Yeah. Well, as you all know, I drive for Toyota Racing.
Nice.
Well, now I'm
Congrats.
officially Toyota Racing.
Me too.
But being in that Toyota... Jensen?
Yeah.
Really?
We're teammates.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
He's talking.
Oh.
I drive the semi-trucks. You drive race cars.
Anyway, so being in the network of TMS or Toyota Motor Sales, I get a lot of job inquiries to do demonstrations or product training for some of the new safety technologies that we offer. And being in the ride and drive community, Ryan was brought on board to be one of the specialists for this new safety technology called Toyota Safety Sense. So we just happened to be in Phoenix, and once I blasted on Facebook that I was going to be here, I got a call from Jared Deanda, Corey.
And Jared said, "Why aren't you at my house yet?" Because that's what he does.
Yeah.
Bring beer.
We didn't bring any beer though.
Well, here's the thing. So I've seen a lot of the drivers hang out at Jared's pool, his infamous pool. Parker,
With
Tyson
naked kids, naked babies walking in the background.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
we got to explain that now. We can't just say we can't just let Paco talk about naked babies. When we were recording our pool cast episode, in the middle of the episode, little Parker Jet.
No, little Tyson.
This little, sorry, I get his military kids wrong. Little Tyson Bravo. Parker would be very awkward doing this because he's what, like 10?
He's 10.
He's 10 now?
years old.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
he did this, that'd be a little bit embarrassing. No, the other one, the smaller one. He decides to walk out naked, completely naked, just in the background of the show. And he walks over to the pool, puts his hands on his hips, gives it a once over, and then walks out of the screen.
Let's remind everyone that he's only 2.
He's only 2.
Yeah.
He's only 2, but I just had to put a roving sensor bar over the child. I didn't even explain what it was. I just said, nope.
Nope.
Along with the same sort of episodes, I saw him offering beer to everyone, and everyone was just having a good time. And
So you did hit up the pool, the Casa de Dionda?
we didn't hit up the pool. It was a little too cold for that. So.
Well, goodbye. Good night.
That's it.
And we're done.
You guys want to talk some drift?
Sure.
Sure.
Thank
fuck.
God.
I know.
Yeah.
They still haven't said, like, what are they doing here in Arizona?
They just did.
They just did. They're working on Toyota development.
That's
Ryan
it. Yeah,
comes
yeah,
in from
but-
Canada and Ken comes in from California.
But what are they doing?
They drove cars at cars.
Are you guys drifting cars?
No.
No. We're basically teaching the dealership salespeople how to sell cars
And talk about the technology.
and talk about tech.
So you guys not only drive cars, you also know how to sell them.
Drifting does not make me any sort of money.
It's the truth, I bet.
You heard it from the Gush himself.
And Corey.
Yeah, trust me. That's why I'm doing this. I'm going to try to strike it big. I'm going to go for as much money as I can possibly get. And then once I strike it big, I'm going to quit drifting forever and I'm going to quit the show.
All right,
Good
let's
deal.
So you guys can see you later.
Yeah.
Now
All right.
that's out of the way.
Are you happy that you revived that topic, Paco? Can we talk about drifting now?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. All right, Ryan Lanteigne.
Yeah,
You go drifting.
I do.
Tell us about your drift car.
Oh, we're going to do this again, are we?
Let's start from the top.
So yeah, that was actually started as a joke because Ken Gushi's the obvious drift driver here, but you, where do you keep your car?
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
Ebisu. I don't know. You might have heard of it. I don't know if you've heard of Ebisu, but yeah, it's
I
there.
don't know if you guys have heard of Ebisu, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
just feeding into our T-shirt.
Kind of a cool place where you can go drifting.
Then Tucson.
Just west of
Located
there.
here, west of there.
Just west of Tucson. Yeah. Same spot.
You just made a special trip to France,
To France, oui.
and it went all over the web that FIA,
Via
the
the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile.
FIA.
FIA.
they're interested in drifting.
Yeah, they are.
What's up?
They've been interested in drifting for a couple of years now. Secretly, though, I don't think we've really known the depth of how much they've been involved. You know, the people on the outside, which I'm involved in that outside group. So they've been really looking at it pretty closely. And recently, they've shown a big interest in developing their own event, which we're waiting for kind of the answer to who won the bid for that event. And they also want to help develop a lot of safety regulations and rules and judging parameters as well for any series around the world that will fall underneath their umbrella, if you will.
Ella.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
I'm doing a bit.
Umbrella.
Wait, so someone's gonna win the bid to hold this? So you got, I read on Rec that I think you wrote it though, right?
I did write it.
Yeah, that they're actually gonna host like a world event.
Exactly.
And Formula Drift and other organizations are bidding to be the showmakers of that.
You got it. Yeah. And we don't really know even who those people are or those series are.
Yeah.
There are rumors around, but we know that Formula Drift did put in a bid that I know, but I don't really know who else. And FIA is being really tight-lipped with everything. They won't really give us an answer, you know, outside of the actual press release that they're going to put out shortly. So they were supposed to put it out on the 18th. Today is, what's today, the 20th?
Yeah.
Or something like
19th.
that. 19th. So we're a day off already. We don't know when it's going to come.
This episode is not going to air, by the way, for almost a week and a half because we're going out of order here. But
maybe by the time this airs, we might have an answer, but at the moment we don't.
Well, that's super cool.
Yeah. So we have another meeting in February 5th or 6th in Paris again. So we'll be going back. So the meeting that I attended was strictly for the judging side of things. And there's the bigger group, which is called the Drifting Working Group. So that's the one that Jim Lau and a bunch of organizers from around the world are involved in. And we went, it was myself, David Kalas from Czechoslovakia. And then there was Christer Halverson that I brought on from Norway. So he's involved with Gatbill and he's part of the local ASN. Gatebill, yeah, sorry. So we all met there to go over judging. As you can imagine, it was the driest of most boring conversations for somebody on the outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that sounds exciting to me.
Yeah, to us it sounds exciting, but I'm pretty sure the people that were there with us were rolling their eyes and looking at their watch the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, are these idiots still going on about the technicalities of initiation or whatever it was we were talking about? So we're very in depth.
Do you guys have to do a lot of explaining, or they seem already like very knowledgeable about it?
They know a lot about drifting, but the judging side, that's why they brought us on. When they were doing their larger drifting working group meetings, I think there were over a dozen people there at that meeting, plus people from the FIA. They started saying, well, we need to start talking about judging. They all know the basics of judging and drifting, but I don't think they knew the intricacies the way that we talk about them. So they said we need to bring some specialists in for that, and that's why they hired us to come in.
You're a specialist.
Yeah. Well, living it as much as I do, I guess, and yeah, we live, eat, breathe drifting, so we're the perfect candidates.
So what's the purpose of this whole bidding thing? Why is it not discredited to FD? Obviously, they're considered the biggest sanctioning body of it. Why would there be an option for bidding?
And quick follow-up question, why is this a big deal that FIA cares about drifting?
The fact that FIA cares, I think, is, for us, I think it's going to legitimize the sport. There are a lot of different series around the world that they're a little bit worried about right now. Oh, thank you.
Corey's bidding for it right now.
Very good.
Corey's paying the judge and King.
I'm just prepping.
It's actually play money. It's fake.
Just keep it quiet.
That's real.
All right, so go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. We need to make sure that drifting is safe. First of all around the world. Why does he get 100? Jesus.
He's giving me a ride home. He's my Uber.
Okay. We need to make sure that it's safe. We need to make sure that nothing bad happens in any of these series around the world. And the best way to do that is to make a set of rules and regulations for these smaller series, these new series that don't really know how to do things on their own. We need to give them a good basic set of rules to follow. So one of the major things that Morgan Caron, who's one of the major guys at the FIA that's helped basically dealing with us, poor guy, he says that he's had a lot of complaints and a lot of concern from a lot of the ASN. So the local FIA affiliates all around the world, they're saying there are these new drift series popping up. We have no clue how to talk to them. We don't know what to tell them in terms of rules. We can't even really control them. And they do things rather unsafely. So we want to give them a basic set of rules and regulations to follow so that they know what to do, and we can reprimand them if they're not following those basic rules. So one of the major things they're concerned about, road courses are generally very well set up. There's some safety involved already. It's the parking lot events that they're really worried about. And that's the type of event that's typically held in kind of like a third world country where they don't have maybe the best track set up. So they'll do a parking lot event, but they don't have the proper safety systems set in place. So walls, catch fences, and things like that.
But why, even if it is a small event, a grassroots event, why would the FIA get involved in that?
Well, they're trying to help out their local ASNs. The local ASNs, they pay fees and everything to the FIA, and they feel that the FIA should be able to help them. The FIA has a lot of different rules and regulations in place for every other motorsport out there, especially in Europe and different parts of the world, other than the U.S. I know in the U.S. it's kind of in North America, really, it's kind of a different set of rules, so to speak. But the FIA has a lot of pull elsewhere in the world. So initially they were listening to their ASNs, their local affiliates, and saying, okay, well, we need to do something about this. And then they started to see, over the last few years, that drifting is very popular. It's still growing. It's an area of opportunity for them as well. So many different facets to why they're getting involved.
Because I steamrolled with my follow-up question. What was your original question, Corey?
No, it answered it.
Yeah, I figured that's why they could follow up. Ken, what do you think?
Okay. Well, on a serious note, I think it's great for the sport.
Yeah.
And like he mentioned earlier, I think having the FIA, I can hear you scratching.
Yeah, stop scratching your beard on the microphone. Jesus, back off.
So,
My bad.
Having the FIA come on board, I think would really legitimize the sport of drifting. And for those who say drifting is not a legitimate form of motorsport.
Who said that?
Online, internet.
Tell me their names.
Tiny Shoes 44.
Yeah.
Tiny Shoes 44, you're dead.
We're coming for you, pal.
Yeah. Not that I really care anyways what people think about drifting, because I do it because I enjoy it. But
yeah, you block out the haters.
Yeah, but for those potential sponsors that are looking into the sport of drifting, now we can give them a real reason as to why their investment into the sport would be any sort of.
Yeah, because I think most of the internet talk about the whole FIA thing has been all negative. It's all been like, oh, there goes drifting, like, oh, there goes all the fun. But I think nobody's really looking at the very positive of this thing, where it's like the legitimate
Legitimate.
Are there
actually people saying that? From what I've seen, at least on most comment sections, it seems kind of positive.
I don't know where you're looking. I don't know where you're reading your comments. I'm just saying, most stuff I've seen is super negative. Like,
well, some is because you're affecting the grassroots. You're defeating the whole purpose of drifting. It shouldn't be this corporate. Blah 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 blah. Yes, I get it.
It's just like, one thing doesn't stop the other. That's the thing that people don't see. Like, getting very, very professional and how to say not sponsored by FIA.
Just say it in Spanish and I'll translate it.
What to say?
Well, look,
regulated.
The thing is, you have. Let's take the example of Formula One. It exists.
Yeah.
The fact that it exists doesn't stop grassroots racing from existing. You still have, track days that you can go to. You still have solo events you can do in a parking lot, which is super cheap and affordable. One doesn't cancel the other one out, and the same thing's going to apply with drifting. Just because there's they're calling it the Drifting Intercontinental Cup. Just because that might exist doesn't mean that grassroots events can't exist elsewhere in the world, right? And the fact of the matter is, it's not going to affect drifting in North America very much. And Morgan, has already said, look, Formula Drift and D1, you guys are at the top level. He attended two events, right? He attended Long Beach last year, and he attended Odaiba in Japan at the end of the season.
And you guys are already one of the safest. Do you have mandatory Hans? Sorry, don't want to sidetrack, but you guys already have mandatory Hans and stuff.
Yeah. And he said, you guys are at the top level. We're not trying to affect what you guys are doing. You guys are at the top. You're running everything the way it should be run. You guys are setting the example for the rest of the world, the rest of the series. And not to say that other events like Drift All Stars and IDC, BDC, they're all very high level events as well. He just used us as an example because he attended both of our events. And in the U.S., I don't think we really have any problems with the level of safety at events that we should be concerned with. That's not an issue. It's really the events that they have to deal with overseas with different countries over there that are, organizers that aren't organized. They don't know what they're doing really. So he's trying to help give them, and again, it's not only safety, it's give them a basic drifting judging set of parameters as well, so that everybody's on the same page with judging. The cars will all be, they're going to try to get a baseline for car setup as well in terms of safety, so that
Every car has a Scion FRS. Toyota.
Yeah,
Toyota
that's
GT86.
exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah. So you could take a car that competes in D1 and bring it to FD, and you could take that same car and go compete in Europe. So you don't have to build a different car for all these different series. The same car can compete all over the place with the same set of rules and regulations. So
Yeah.
And also, I think it also brings more interest and gives more attention from like bigger manufacturers and bigger aftermarket companies that create, like suspension parts. And I mean, the support will be even bigger for those who are not doing pro drifting. There's going to be more people trying to make more parts. There's more competition. Prices should be more affordable, I guess. So I mean, there should be a benefit for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think what it does is it really, like we've already mentioned, this solidifies the sport of drifting. I think if you go to a sponsor or manufacturer, even companies wanting to get in, it's like, this is sanctioned by the FIA. Mm-hmm. This is on the same page as Formula One and other forms of motorsports that are the pinnacle. And now it's an opportunity for, I think it's just another sales point. It really is. On top of, streamlining something that we already have to make it more universal. So hopefully more events do pop up across the world. And then the other thing too is like, we could look at like Pro 2 and amateur stuff and things like that. And there's still a big gap. You know what I mean? I think there's still a big gap from amateur drifting to pro drifting. And hopefully if it creates some sort of rules that can kind of streamline that or prepare people in amateur series to be able to evolve in that much easier. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
And that's something. You go to some pro-am events and it's like, man, this guy's got his license and he's going to kind of struggle because I don't think there's still the right forms in place for him to advance at that level where he needs to be in Pro 1 or even 2.
The steps aren't all there, maybe.
Yeah. There's a big separation. I think we've seen it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you've seen drifting all over the world. I'm sure. How would you compare, an FD event to some other events you've been to? I'm sure car-wise and driver-wise it may be a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. And there's always one or two. Well, generally you see a few drivers that stand out above the rest. In the other countries. Whereas here, you look at FD, it's a major. Or it's very close throughout the whole field. You look at the 32, you think, oof, top 32 is going to be tough to guess who's going to win. But sometimes in other series, you see a few people with their heads above the crowd a little bit, and you think, okay, those guys probably have an advantage going in. Right. But yeah, it's.
Well, what do you think about the guys who qualify 33rd all the time?
Yeah,
they're pretty all right.
So how's that pizza doing over there for you guys?
So
33rd.
So I think to cap that off real quick, I think it's a big fucking deal that FIA is legitimizing the sport of drifting because it's doing exactly that. It's legitimizing the sport of drifting in other people's eyes that may have thought that this was just a passing fad or a youthful sport that is going to disappear and old guys don't need to understand because it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's like they're legitimizing the sport, I think is incredibly important, and I literally see no bad parts to it.
Yeah. No, I think that's the major word right there is legitimize, and that's what is going to be important for a lot of sponsors that are not
committed.
Well, usually seen in drifting, let's say.
Yeah.
And that's really the next step for these drivers that are in the series, trying to get more money into the series. How many aftermarket parts suppliers are there that can possibly sponsor that we don't already have involved? I'm sure there are a few, but what you really want to get is the bigger scope of companies that are out there that aren't motorsports related that can come in and sponsor the series or the drivers.
And as I say, most importantly, real quick, Jensen, if you don't mind, can you throw down what do you think on this? Can you pass on the mic for a second?
Go and get up on that mic too, Jensen. Give Phyllis in on
that. FIA,
FYI,
Frank's Inform Apples. They're pretty good people. Thank you.
When you had the meeting with them, what did they really bring up in that meeting when you had a chance to talk to them?
Because they had you come over first before Ryan. Before Ryan Sage, before Ryan Lanteigne. Yeah. Before Robbie Nishida, everyone, they're like, all right, Jensen, you obviously have been in the sport longer than anyone. You've seen the top, the bottom, the very bottom.
Yeah. You've hit rock bottom in drifting.
Yeah. They brought up 2001 when I was rock bottom.
Right.
They brought that up to me. They asked me what I thought about it, and I said I couldn't remember. So then they brought up 2002. Now I remember 2002.
Was that a good year?
That was a great year.
Okay.
Okay. I grew my hair out. I had a ponytail. That was nice. It was really good for me. I also worked at a men's dance club. So
Yeah.
we talked about that for a little bit. Then they brought up the hands device.
You're referencing the hands device. That's the
Yeah.
one with all the little tiny hands
Yeah, the hands device.
that hold you back.
Yeah, so if you ever decide that you're going to go wild, you use the hands device.
Nice.
So they want to incorporate that into motorsports. So
Right. So it started at the club, the tiny
Yes.
club,
Yep.
the clubs in Berlin.
Yep.
Where you were
yeah,
and they're, yeah. I mean, you could explain it.
I don't really want to talk about Berlin because that's not. I mean, it's a lot of bad stuff.
No, we
happened.
understand. We understand.
What?
We understand.
So, but then to tell us about what made you pick Ryan and Robbie Nishida to be part of the board. What made you pick these guys out of everybody else?
Looking at them in Speedos, it was just a different look. It was good.
Right.
It was nice.
So you felt, man, these guys look good. They could probably make some good calls.
If you look good, you feel good,
Yeah.
you make good calls.
That's the truth.
I think this is
Yeah.
a good segue to talk to Ken here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good-looking guys go, Ken.
Yeah.
We all know about your male modeling career. How
Have you seen this fella? Have you seen him up and down?
up and down?
Yeah, it's nice. It's good.
Paco has a couple things to say about Ken.
Go for it, Paco.
We should have Paco just confess his love for Ken right now.
No, I was gonna say, Paco, if you could describe Ken's body for us.
Have you guys ever been to the Louvre Museum in Paris?
The Louvre, yeah.
The Louvre.
Ryan, have you gone?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
You've been.
You've probably seen the.
Ryan, you can take the mic back now if you.
Yeah. Jensen's probably good for a while. You've probably seen the statues they have like chiseled by big great artists.
Ones that are missing the thing.
Yeah, the guys
The ones,
that have.
the ones that are missing a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the little fig leaf going on.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. That's, well, should I need to say more?
No, you're gonna say that Ken was born with a fig leaf.
Unfortunate.
Is that correct? Do you have a fig leaf?
Leaf.
Like a leaf?
Leaf.
Like a fig?
Fig Newton lift.
Well, just
Help me, guys.
Dude, this is very controversial,
He's
and the biggest
getting
argument,
nervous.
the biggest argument on the internet that we've all seen is, does or does not Ken Gushi have a fig leaf, where his dingus should be?
It's dingling.
Because Paco has been telling everyone that you look just like a classical Greek
Adonis?
Roman Adonis statue.
A
And
statuesque.
what the fans on the internet have been dying to know. Speaking of
Plus
Paco,
the carpet matches the drapes.
speaking of Paco, did you do a post for questions for these strong guys?
Nope.
Can you hit that real quick?
Okay.
Because we got to get the fan questions. But yeah, so answer this isn't an out for you, Ken. Do you have a fig leaf permanently bolted on or not?
No.
Damn
All
it.
right.
But I do shave though.
All right.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah, you look really good up top there.
Jesus,
You must have
Ken.
cleaned up today.
No, I really did shave right before this trip.
Oh, nice.
He knew he'd be coming to see
He's
you guys.
prepped up.
You know what they say is it makes
the drapes.
well yeah, it makes it look bigger if it's cleanly shaved.
So if you're a statue.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
His Paco just got distracted. He's supposed to be texting.
No. The smaller the bush, the taller the tree.
Can you say bush again?
He said the smaller la
bush.
bouche. The smaller la bouche, the
That's how
taller
you-
the tree.
That's how you say mouth in French.
Kurt the Boosh.
Boosh.
Boosh? Really? So wait, the show... No, I was going to say it's a British show, The Mighty Boosh. It's a Boosh. Maybe it's... I don't know. Anyways, sidetrack. So Ken, we all know you got abs.
Yep.
You had abs in that
I
one
had-
photo. Do you still have them?
No, that was when I was 21. I'm 30 now.
You're
Are you-
30 now?
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh my God, I don't feel bad anymore.
How did you get
Give
30?
me some 30 love up in
I
here.
turned 30, but I thought you would always stay forever 21.
I thought I was forever 17.
I turned
Dude.
30 10 years ago.
Hold on, you got an FD at what age?
7.
16?
16, yeah.
Wait, did you used to drive a green S13 or
Yeah,
S14?
yeah, that was
I
me.
remember that.
I was 16.
Did you drive at Reliance Center in Houston in that
I
thing?
did, yes. But that was blue at the time, and I won second place behind Sam Hughes.
And was your sponsor Rotora?
Rotora, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember
no,
that.
but at that event, Rotora had
Yeah.
already pulled out. It was just my dad, I, and Yokohama Tires.
What was your dad's grow
Well, I
up
was going to
company?
say, unlike your dad, though, who obviously doesn't pull out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Oh.
Dangus.
Some of that.
Oh, pound him for 30. Pound him for not pulling out.
Now, didn't you also drive a Mustang into a wall?
That's what ended my career with them.
Really?
Probably.
You buried one, huh?
Well, I buried 2.
That's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Well, I totaled 1 at the slowest track in the circuit.
What track was that? New Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What year was that?
That was 2005, 6, 7.
2007. You drove a Mustang.
Into a wall.
They had the rising star Ken Gushi, an American muscle.
Can you? Sorry, sidetrack. Can you pull that mic in front of your mouth, dude?
Ken?
Just act like you're giving a soft, supple kiss. There you go.
But okay.
Perfect.
But before we talk about all the negative stuff,
it's not negative.
That wasn't negative. It's a positive, dude.
This is
Well,
life,
yeah,
dude.
it is positive because I am here where I am today.
People
now
would say
because
that
of
it's better there than a car show.
Well, it's
But
I can't say that. I wouldn't say
Let's
that.
hold on. Let's hear
But-
this thought of Ken.
my first year with Ford, I did place 3rd in the championship.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You just recently finished 3rd in the championship, right?
Second.
Fuck.
That's nice, Ken.
Pound Jensen. He loves
Wait, what
that.
championship?
Formula Drift Championship
Second in the championship?
in 2015.
Jeez. Who beat you?
Who remembers that year?
Oh God.
Who beat you? Was that Forsberg?
No, it was Aspo.
Is that how you say his name?
I don't think that counted.
There are 2 S's in there.
Oh.
Aspo.
Aspo.
Is it really that? Is that
No,
how?
there's 2 A's in there.
Yes, it's,
So it's Ospo.
wow, we know why he gets a short stick with the judging now, don't we? Except for I don't think he really does he? I don't know.
Him?
Who
But
do you?
no, what I was getting back is he's 30 freaking years old.
I thought he was honestly. I joke about him being forever 21, but I thought he was just like the young guy, and he's the same age as me.
Yeah. Well, you
What's
were
his-
considered the young gun back in the day. You're like the dude,
Yeah,
the
but
youngest.
We have Alec Honadale.
Yep.
Yep, she's pretty
Who
good.
else is? Who else
Go ahead.
is young?
I don't know.
I think he's the youngest of the gun at the moment.
Probably. Yeah.
Well,
probably would be, yeah.
Isn't Forsberg pretty young too?
He's 26.
He's 26. Vaughn's pretty young.
Matt Kaufman's a little boy.
Oh yeah. How old is he? Like 16?
Oh my God, he probably is.
No.
How old's Hellbrun?
Hellbrun's young, isn't he?
I don't know. He looks like a very wizened.
Wait, who is
Street
the youngest
Fighter.
and the oldest in the series right now?
Oh, Doug Vanderbrink is the oldest.
I don't know who that
In
is.
Pro 1.
Oh, Pro 1.
Probably Robbie.
We really need Forsberg.
Robbie's
To
just turned
answer this.
40.
No, he's not.
No, he's 30.
yeah.
Yes, he is. He's 40.
Is he
No,
40?
he's 39.
39?
Oh,
80 or
he's
39?
How old is he?
Who is?
Zoltan?
Zoltan
Zoltan.
Andrew? I don't even know if he's still alive.
No longer competing.
Who's the oldest and youngest right now?
Well, I think-
Well,
I
Honadale's the youngest. he has to
Honadale's
be.
the youngest. Kaufman might be a close second. And then you say Rob Bob?
Well, I think Rob the Knob is
Rob the Knob.
probably.
Yeah.
How old's Daigo?
Daigo's a year younger than Robbie.
So he's 38, 39.
How old is Robbie's uncle? Because I saw him last week.
Oh, from Arizona. He lives here.
Yeah, he's an animal.
Yeah. How do you guys know Robbie's uncle?
Dude, we ran into him at a salad restaurant. Believe it or
Really?
not, our perfect bodies come from eating salads.
Yeah.
And we were eating at, Sweet Tomato.
Yep.
All right, we need a sidetrack with Jensen and Corey. Let's talk
All
about
right,
Robin Ishida's
so,
uncle.
okay, so we're sitting, we go to Sweet Tomatoes. We're trying to stay fit. Was Matt Powers with us that day?
Matt Powers was there.
So it was me, Dustin, and Matt Powers, and we eat salads because Matt likes salads.
Yep.
Matt
Sure.
picked on us because we put croutons on our salad, and he said we're going to get fat if we
Plus,
eat
they have
those.
ice cream there, all you can eat.
So
Not that
and
I know that, but I got a friend.
we're sitting there, and this young, gentle fellow comes up and just literally, plops down next to us.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey, you guys look familiar. You know my son or my nephew, Robbie?
Robbie
I'm like,
who?
wait a second,
Wait,
Robbie, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Sure enough, he's like, oh yeah, Robbie Nishida, he competes in FD. I seen you guys on the YouTubes with
Yeah.
him. Oh, but that conversation lasted for about an hour and a half or an hour and 45
Yep.
minutes talking to Robbie's uncle. Sweet guy, nice guy, but man, he's ready to open a conversation and run with it.
Then we saw him at the airport.
And then we saw him at the airport.
Getting
like
on the plane.
Sure
That was
enough,
nice.
same flight, same plane, had the same conversation. But yeah, we met him at a salad restaurant because
He's
we're
a great
super
dude.
fit. We almost look like Ryan, kind of.
Yeah.
We're
Good looking
super-
guy.
Ryan's a good-looking guy today.
Good looking guy.
Ryan is actually really fit. I didn't tell him yesterday.
Does he have
but
more abs than you?
Well, yeah. He had his shirt off coming out of the
What the
shower
f-
because we're actually.
Really?
Okay.
Are you still single?
Whoa, wait.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not single. No, I'm not.
But he is.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So we went hiking yesterday. Diamondback?
Top of South Mountain.
Camel toe.
Camel Toe Mountain.
Jesus
Yeah, he went jumped up Camel Toe Mountain.
We went to Camel,
right up in this
Camelback.
area.
No, I saw you at the top of South Mountain.
South Mountain.
That's it.
Yeah.
Camel Toe is the one across from there.
Pima Canyon Road.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where I ride mountain bikes.
So after that, he decided to take a shower and.
Then you then
no,
I do.
here's the thing. I
and then you
pretended not to
came
look.
in. Right.
Okay, hold on, this is getting good. I like this. Go
He
ahead.
came out of the shower with his shirt off. I was like, oh shit, he's got some
Dude,
abs.
he's stacked right now.
Yeah.
You're on the prowl, huh, dog?
mean, he's really fit.
Are you like 6% body fat like me?
Jensen, 6% body fat, as he just announced. All right, so Ryan, we've got a large female following for the show.
I imagine you do.
What would you like them to know? I know you like cats. You like my cats. That's a big plus for the ladies, I think.
I love cats.
Obviously, you got Ken. We're not talking right now. Ken, we're trying to hook the lawnmower man up with some broads.
Okay.
All right, you already got some.
I do.
You already got some. What do they call them in the
Taiwanese.
No. I was gonna say you already got some tail.
You got some tail?
You got some tail. All right, so do you like long walks?
Yeah. Sure.
Where?
He likes long hikes.
Yeah, hikes.
Hikes, beach. You like hiking the beach?
No.
It's hard on your feet.
Would you prefer a walk to remember or what's the other flick
The
for
Notebook.
the ladies? The Nope. That's the one. That's what I was thinking. Would walk to remember a Notebook?
I haven't seen either.
Secret Garden.
Okay, so let's.
I like the Notebook.
Ken.
I'll go with the Notebook because
you're a
Ken
Notebook
said
man.
Are you a Ryan Gosling kind of guy?
Yeah, he's totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you, Ryan.
Okay.
Okay, you have $7 in your wallet.
Yep.
Okay. You find this sweet, beautiful woman that's into your body.
Canadian or American?
Well, do you want your visa or not?
American.
So you meet this beautiful woman, right?
Yeah.
And you have $7. You're like, man, Ryan, I'm hungry. You have to feed 2. Where do you go?
Ooh, Chipotle. I don't know.
Chipotle? What the fuck? You have $7.
That's not gonna feed me.
All right,
is it?
if we could bring in our food specialist onto the show, Dustin, you want to hit this?
So grab the mic. You have $7. Ryan needs to take a date out. Where does he take her? $7.
Burger King, 2 for $5.
That's only one.
What do you do?
Yeah. You get 2 burgers for $5.
What do you do with the extra?
This is how you get the girls in Arizona.
What do you do with the extra $2?
You upsize yourself.
You buy her a ring.
Nope, you upsize yourself.
No, I'll take 1 large fry, 1
Yep.
large Coke. She's on a diet.
Yep.
This is all me right now.
She'll have a water cup, and then I tell her fill it with whatever. I'll distract them by talking to them.
Put Coke in it. I want to walk. I'll make them look
And then if she wants to get lippy with you, hey, she has Coke.
then kick her out.
Get
and
her
then
out of here.
That's a good way. So
And then you get both burgers.
I'm kind of digging this Jensenomics.
You've got the master plan there. That's perfect.
so
That's why I eat so good all the time.
hey, are you done with that burger? Guess what? She has Coke. Pawn her out.
Yeah. Kick her out. Tell her not to get in the Uber. That's mine.
But she has to pay for it with her phone.
So Ryan, so you have $7. Would you go Burger King with your new bae?
Oh, I hope not.
No. What would you? What's your food of choice then, Mr. Physique?
It's obviously
What did
quinoa.
we just eat? Lolo's?
Lolo's.
Chicken and
Just went to
waffles.
Lolo's.
Yep.
Chicken and waffles.
I'm gonna call him bullshit. These guys just came back from Lolo's. For those who don't know,
Yeah, fit guys got metabolism. Dog.
Lolo's, it's a soul food restaurant.
Chicken, waffles, Kool-Aid.
Yep, pretty much.
I did have a salad though.
At Lolo's, they don't. That's not
Fat
true.
ass.
They don't have
It
salad.
had chicken on
They
it. though.
did.
like what kind of dressing you had on it? Gravy?
There's no way they have salad at Lolo's.
Well, they actually
do
did.
too.
They did.
Lies.
They really did.
What was
Yeah.
it called? Cool Bebes or something like
Cool
that?
Whip.
We went to Lolo's twice this trip, and
Yeah.
he ordered salad both
It
times.
sounds delicious.
You can order a side of chicken skin and get it.
I don't know if you can hear him well, but he's saying you can order a side of chicken skin at Lolo's, and you put that on your salad.
Nope.
Nope, just eat
No,
it.
nowhere near salad.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Oh
much
God, I
discipline.
forgot. This is actually. Let's get to the hard news on the show. I did see on Facebook that Taco Bell is doing a fried chicken shell.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that, Ryan?
It's terrifying.
What do
You
you,
eat
what do you
Taco
mean?
Bell?
Taco Bell?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's terrifying?
I don't know if Taco Bell's different.
Taco Bell.
I
Taco Bell.
was going to
that
say
is
something different.
Is that what they
Taco
call it?
Bell in Canada is any different than the U.S. version, but you don't go near Taco Bell.
Does it mess up your gutty works?
I hear it. I don't know. I never eat there, but
Do you know what- I know what
kind
you
of
mean.
worried about that. That's probably one of the reasons I don't go there.
I can use some Timbits right now.
Yeah, anybody can use Timbits at any
What's
time. of the
Timbits?
day.
Oh, Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons. It's
Tim Morton?
Tim Hortons, that's a salt manufacturer.
What's a Tim Horton? It's a
Tim
Canadian like Starbucks, right?
Yeah, basically. The best coffee.
You want some Timmy's, eh?
Hey, you want some Timmy's?
Timmy Hortons.
Some Hortons.
And,
No,
and
they-
pizza.
Yeah, they have the best maple syrup Timbits.
No.
Timbits.
Yeah, Timbits are donut holes, essentially.
Nice.
You got some weird words for stuff up there, pal.
Yeah, I know. But they're tasty.
In America, we call them donut holes.
Donut holes. We call them Timbits.
I want to go. I want to go back to the Goosh.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's talk because we now talked
Yeah.
about bullshit for
A very
probably
long
most of the
time.
episode.
Yeah.
Gushi, are you driving Formula Drift still? next year?
Let's cut the chase.
Everyone's been speculating.
Let's just shit on him for now.
It's not shitting. Are you driving? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
thank God.
yes, yes.
Thank
I'm only
God.
30. I mean, we have.
I thought you were gonna
I'm only
retire.
30.
What
No.
what are you gonna drive next year?
A Toyota 86.
Still?
Nice.
Yes. I mean, it's a proven platform now, and I think we can possibly build the ultimate 86 better than Ryan Turks. Better than
nice.
Who else?
Get him.
better than
Die.
Better than Castro.
Die.
You're not
better than Die.
You're not saying you're saying Dye's car will be better than yours?
Well, no, because Die has a Subaru.
Well, it's the same chassis.
No, it's different.
it's not. It's a
different.
piece of
It's
shit.
different, yeah.
Oh my God.
This is a new segment in the show. It's called Shitting on Subarus.
My SDI's bumper fell off the other day.
That's a Subaru for you.
Yep. See, goddamn
Hey.
right.
Well, anyway, yeah, I will be driving. Same car, same team, but officially as a part of the Toyota racing team.
Yeah.
How did that swap affect you at all? Did it?
The Scion by Toyota is now Toyota Racing, to be clear.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. To be honest with you, the transition was a little tough.
Really?
Yeah, Scion was extremely laid back. You know, they said they were the yes man. They was like, yes, let's do that.
And they're still a company, right?
Scion?
Scion?
That was a joke. Because they're so laid back that they're not a company.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Dustin got it. I mean, Jensen got it.
So transitioning over to the corporate umbrella, it was a little bit more tough because the legal side can be a little bit more. Oh, heck, that was my Diet Coke, by the way.
Yeah. Grab 2 more diets.
Yeah.
But switching over was pretty difficult.
Yeah, a little complicated because a lot of the paperwork was sort of handed over to me.
Right.
They were like, yeah, well, we're going to be directly working with you guys. So,
Nice.
yeah. I mean,
But the thing is, I'll tell you this. I saw you on NASCAR, dude.
Yeah.
You freaking made it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
I
huge.
gave Mr. Michael Waltrip a ride along Sonoma Raceway, a full drift lap, and it was the best.
Where at?
Sonoma Raceway, and NASCAR race at Sonoma
On your
in my drift car.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a special, one-time, one-purpose livery. So we had to swap the livery overnight.
Remember that?
Shipped it over from New Jersey before Canada.
Yep.
Did the livery one day, did that event, gave Michael Waltrip a ride. It was so fun.
Right.
So good.
What did obviously Paco? Can you hit him with a redneck accent? But what did the fans think of it? And then I want you to answer in redneck.
Well, so here's the thing. We did that segment before the gates even opened, so there were no fans.
God, no.
Can Paco still do his accent?
What did you think? What would you think?
Well, no, last time I saw that damn stupid Toyota going like that side skid racing thing, I gotta say I thought stupid, man. Like you do real racing all the time, but these kids were just like going on the tires were just like on the side. Kind of the same way that Jimmy Johnson goes.
Jimmy Johns. I love Jimmy Johns.
That's Paco's redneck. Sometimes we have to pull that out.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, sometimes we have to pull it out. Paco does the best Mexican redneck I've ever
Lawnmower Man Lanteigne, he pulls his earphones off and he's like shaking his head. I'm like, oh, is it too loud? And I turned it down. He's like, no, I just don't want to hear that.
It's okay, Ryan. This is what happens in America every now and then. So, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
So Toyota making the swap.
Yeah.
You've done already some cool shit with them. Sounds like they're on board for all next year, which is good. The other thing too is I think Toyota has a lot more money than Scion.
See, that's the hard
Dude.
part.
Yeah.
So we have to justify the cost of everything, and working with that part is not the easiest
I
when
bet.
they don't really still understand how the sport works and
Tell them.
whatnot.
Just
Yeah.
Get
just have
this
them-
guy right here.
have
Get
him-
Mr. Lanteigne up
I
in
would
there.
say have them listen to this episode and they'll learn all about drifting.
I think this is the last
Toyota
episode I
pulls
wanna
out of
show them.
drifting.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Anyway.
So I want to go. Okay, so let's do Flashback Friday right now with the Gush. So start at S13 with your dad, title sponsor. Mm-hmm. How different was your car then than it is now?
Pretty much the same, right?
Yeah, minus 800 horsepower and
Well, what were you running back then? You were S13.
S13 with the SR20. I was still a 2-liter. S15 turbo.
Whoa.
So T28.
Jesus.
Ball bearing had about 300 horsepower. No lock kit, just the tie rod spacers.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
215 40 17 up front and a 235 40 217 in the rear.
215 up front.
Yeah.
Don't you want to have wider tires up front?
What? Why? Why is that?
I mean, more grip.
We didn't know what grip was back then.
I mean, is that stupid? Don't you guys usually have wider tires up front?
Are you being serious right now, Sam?
I don't know how to fucking set
Oh
up a
my
drift car,
God.
dude. What?
Ryan, I apologize.
What?
That's about right. Sam, you hit the nail on the head, bud. So I got my semi truck.
Wait, so
Let's just say it was completely different. The build, the setup,
no,
the trends.
Are you guys making fun of me?
Yeah,
or?
I'm making.
Yes,
I can't believe you
we
really
are
think
fully
that.
making fun of you, Samuel.
What? Okay, Gush, on your drift car right now, as it'll be, or as it was set up in 2016, what was the width of your front tires?
So we were running on Nexen 265, 35, 18 up front, and 275, 40, 18 in the rear.
So why do you want to have skinnier tires up front?
You mean compared to the back?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you thought this whole time that you would rather run like a 295, 30, 18 in the front and a 215, 45?
No, not that extreme of an example.
right,
but
but-
I assume that you want the wider track base up front. Because I see you guys with your goofy ass Wise Fabulous kits.
Right. We do
And-
want
which
a
are great, by
wide
the way,
track.
but-
Can I?
Well, I was going to ask the professional drifter, but obviously Paco knows best.
No, it's just a simple thing, Sam. When you're drifting,
Sure.
and your tires, you're pretty much steering with those front tires are going against
That's better.
the direction where you're driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you get a wider tire,
Yeah.
that whole tire just tilts to one side, and you just get a tiny patch of tire.
Can I get more action in your arms so I can understand?
If you go with a more narrow tire, that tire has less less lift. I would say there's more surface contact.
You should have just said that whole thing in Spanish. I had no idea what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I think I understand less.
Right. Well, here's the thing. There's ways to get really great grip out of narrow front tires.
Okay.
And that all depends on alignment, suspension setup, dampening, rebump. But
So if you've got let's just say someone's got a blown up S14 with an SR20 motor that makes 250 horsepower on a good day, and they're running, let's say, 225s in their rear, what should their front tires be?
225, 215,
But not 235s.
235, doesn't matter.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you don't want to be running 255s up front.
Yeah.
But
I'm not.
at that spec, 225, 235.
I still don't understand, but I'm going to act like I do.
You might be a little bit confused with the wider front track because of the big angle kits.
Yeah, I mean,
why they
exactly.
look in the front.
Yeah, I know that doesn't necessarily equate to a thicker fronter tire size, but I just assume literally that everyone had about the same, or maybe even a thicker front tire. I never really looked at the front tires, to be honest.
You are a Subaru kid.
To be completely candid, I just never really looked at front tire sizes. I know rear tire size is obviously the hot button because everyone's thinking about the weight limit of the car and how much grip you can get out of the weight and the power and all that shit. I never really thought to consider the ratio to front tire. And I'm only half drift retarded. I'm drifted. But I'm sure there's a lot of kids that don't know that. I don't know.
So on a serious note, there are some drivers that prefer a wide front tire, and I was one of those at one point. But I felt like that was just a band-aid to having some grip up front, and I learned that you can find some mechanical grip out of narrow or skinnier tires.
Nasty camber is what you want.
Depends on the car, but yes.
Such a
If you're Ryan Turk. Oh, can we? Did we cut off an old question, or can we move to?
No, it just seemed like Ryan wanted to say
I was
something.
gonna say, can we move? Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan seems like he really wants to say something really bad.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Oh,
guys go ahead.
Ryan is gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
no,
did I
you've
step
got some
into?"
comment on.
I was looking at my watch like, I really got to go.
Yeah, this is time to bail out of this place.
Next question for Ken Gushi.
Yeah.
No, so
No, I mean, as a racer / crooked judge, what are you interested? He's not a crooked judge.
A crooked judge first.
Oh, then
Racer
and then
side.
racer. Do you have a comment on front grip and drift cars?
No, I run my car so stupid in Japan. I have big fat front tires on it
Thank
for
you.
grip.
I
and
didn't know
skinny
better.
ones in the back. I don't have a lot of power. So
I did that.
Try to grip it up
That's
front.
why I'm asking. It wasn't for a friend. It was for me. Whose car is better set up? Yours or Ryan Turk's? Ken.
Mine.
Who gets more? Who's Toyota like better?
Me.
goddamn right, I love this.
Who would win in a head-to-head battle? No external elements, no bullshit. Just you versus him, driving skill.
You never know.
Really?
We've gone how many
But
times?
that's in
the
different
past?
cars, and maybe there's different elements and different variables that day, and obviously whoever gave the judges a bigger arrangement of edibles. Like, same car, same Toyota FRS setup or GT86. God, I could get it right. Set up the exact same way. Who's a better driver?
I am.
Fucking A.
Dang. Do you think so? What do you think?
Well,
Lanteigne?
I think point standing shows, right?
Well, you got 7th in 2016, if I did my homework, right? You got 3 third places.
2.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
2.
Okay.
I just like to point out that we introduced him to edible arrangements this weekend.
Wait, did he actually have one?
No. We
I
were
know the
at,
trick
where'd
now.
we go? We went to a Starbucks, and next door was an edible arrangement. I said, "Oh, look at edible
Hey,
arrangements."
yeah,
And he's
it's-
like, "What do you mean?" And then we introduced him to the whole idea
Oh,
that
okay.
he needs to buy the judges' edible arrangements. And
That's-
now he knows. He understands.
That's
the
why you
process.
only have
Ticket.
2 third places.
Yeah.
You guys are watching history being made right here.
When Gushi cracked the code.
It took him until this week to figure it out.
I finally figured it out after 15 years.
And I had to tell
Well,
him.
okay,
I didn't really
hold on.
figure it out. I told him.
On a real note, though, Goosh.
Yeah.
2014, where did you finish? Or 13? Even both those years.
So,
Just
I
roughly.
think it was somewhere in the teens. So 13 or 14, and maybe before that was 21st or something.
Okay. So you had 2 years where you did
Mediocre.
and then it was like 2015 on fire.
Threw your juice down.
Why?
And then,
How?
And then
What
16,
happened?
you turned the juice even higher.
Dude, seriously, what happened? Same
Yeah.
car, same everything. Why all of a
Well,
sudden
not the
did you
same
come out
car.
of
I'm sure they tuned it.
I'm sure they did a lot of things, but it was the same chassis.
What happened?
How did the juice get loose?
I think the juice, huh? I think it just got to a point where we just couldn't bring up any other results. We were always losing in the top 32 or 16, and I kept telling my team, like, we need to make some drastic changes to the steering system. We really need to, change something, team dynamics, anything. Let's just make a big change. And the event that did it for me was Long Beach in 2015, where I lost in the top 32 against Jeff Stonebeck. And at that point, I felt like it was the lowest point of my career.
Because who would lose to that chump?
Well,
I'm kidding. No, we like Jeff.
not that Jeff is a bad driver. He's
no,
a great
he's a
driver.
great driver.
But it's just I lost so early in the first round of the season that I guess you can say it lit the fire. And
Well, that's the thing too. Is that time Jeff was almost, I think, still considered a rookie, or was his follow-up year.
right.
And you have Ken Gushi running since 2001, big name, big dog, and then this dude comes in and like takes you out in a big
Easily,
team.
too.
That's a bummer.
And then
man.
you threw Wisefab in your car, and everything was perfect.
Well, so hold on. So after that happened, what happened?
So after that, we decided to finally make the change over to Wisefab.
I knew it.
And
Sorry.
and that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
I know it sucks. I mean, only because Wisefab isn't paying us, but we've had this story, unfortunately, from so many drivers. Fortunately, unfortunately, from so many drivers. We're like, what was a big change that took place in your car or your career that like made you start winning? And everyone's like, well, we had a moment where like, fuck, let's get some Wisefab, and then because they're not paying us yet as they should. Why does this change so much? Or why? I mean, I guess it was only because the rest of the field was doing a hardcore angle. And then you didn't have it at that moment?
It wasn't about angle. It was more about drivability and the ease of controlling the car, or where I wanted to pinpoint the car. For the most part, I just felt like I was fighting the car, or fighting to get the car to a certain point. And instead of focusing on grip, speed, and, like the showcase or the excitement factor, I was focusing more on fighting the car to get to where I wanted to. With tandem and qualifying. But with Wisefab, I just felt like it was easier to set up the car. It was suited to my style of driving, and it really opened up a lot of doors for us.
So it's less the, sorry Paco, in a second, this is less the degrees of the angle and more just how it handles everywhere else. Like, it's not just the maximum degrees of turning that does it. It's just
Right.
the drivability of steering.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the Wisefab kit for the FRS or 86 platform doesn't really bring a lot of angle. In fact, I had one setup in my old setup that had more angle. It was just a pain in the ass to drive.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about angle. It was more about drivability and
the overall
the confidence.
the overall geometry just gives the car a better stance, better grip on the front, more control, pretty much.
more control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to make something clear. I know there's a lot of criticism over Wisefab. Like a lot of people says like, oh, a lot of people just puts on Wisefab on a car because they suck and they think that Wisefab is gonna make them a better driver. But that's not the case. It's like when you're a good driver, when you get
a goose driver,
when you're a goose driver, Wisefab does actually enhances your what you know and what you know you can do with the car. Like in this case, you're saying like it gives you like probably better feedback, better control, but it's not like he's winning because he put fast because with Wisefab like it's not like you're giving it the credit that you're good again. No, it's just.
Well, I just feel like that kit allowed me to drive the way I wanted to drive. It's just as simple as that.
We got to cut that off until they start paying us money.
Oh yeah. Well, on a side note, I want to go back to Ryan since he's going to sleep.
I was gonna. You hit your Ryan.
What's that? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, talking about the same thing.
Yeah, so going on angle, Ryan.
Ryan, angle.
It seems like backwards entries or too much angle could be considered a negative in some of the judges' eyes. Is that correct?
We always say I would not recommend trying a backwards entry because there is a lot of room for error with a backwards entry. So we pointed that out in Atlanta. I'm trying to remember what year it was.
2013 with Conrad.
I think, specifically. Yep. I didn't say don't do it. I just said if you do it, make sure you stick it
and don't scrub a bunch of speed as people often do in backwards entries.
Yeah. So the major thing that we don't like is when you come in backwards and then to continue through that corner, you need to pull out a lot of angle to maintain drift without spinning out or stalling, and that's what we always point out. If you do that, it's going to be held against you in a big way because you're making a huge correction. So if you come in with big angle, you got to be able to maintain it all the way through the corner. So we said don't do it if you're not super confident in yourself in doing it. And I said I wouldn't recommend it just because of how much room for error there is, like I said. Right. And then I believe it was Conrad that came in and threw down this amazing entry and just stuck it all the way through. And he went, okay, it can be done. We didn't say it couldn't be done. We just said the chances are it's not going to work out. But he made it work.
But then from the perspective of a chase driver, and Conrad initiates regularly one way, and I hate to keep on rehashing conversations we've obviously had in the show previously, maybe even with you, but from a chase driver's perspective, then if Conrad initiates medium crazy entry once, and then the next time he goes slower, because almost inevitably anytime you do a backwards entry, it's going to be slower than a non-backwards entry. So as a chase driver, very hard to follow.
It is, yeah, and that would play into the style side of things in the previous year where we had the IFC. So fluidity generally deals with the way the car rotates, and then you have commitment. Commitment generally, we like to say, deals with the forward momentum of the car. So how well you're flowing throughout the course. And in that case, you might look like you have big commitment to begin with, but then the car stalls up, and that would be held against you because it's almost like an error or a mistake that the lead driver would be making.
Do you think that there will be a judging limitation on steering angle at some point, or is it kind of self-regulate because just adding more and more angle eventually will cease to be an advantage at some point?
Yeah, I think in terms of angle, it seems like we might be near where the maximum angle might be achieved already in terms of how much you could get out of a car while maintaining momentum. And that's the major thing that we always point out is you need to maintain momentum. You can have all the angle in the world, but if you have to slow down to keep the car from spinning or whatever it is to get through a corner, then there's no point in having all that angle. You have to maintain it. I always say it in the meetings, you need to have the maximum amount of angle that you can achieve while maintaining momentum. So you don't want to lose speed through a corner. And that's the biggest point of debate or contention, I guess, with some drivers and some fans as well.
Well, God, there's so many runs you could talk about. Like you could talk about the run with Alec in Texas. He had a really, and then obviously the Forsberg
Wingate,
whatever. Yeah, the Wingate.
Yeah, that's the biggest one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, at what point do you figure out? I was like, man, yeah, we got to call it at a certain degree or whatever. If there's going to be a cap that Sam says, but
has there ever been that discussion?
No.
Not necessary.
No, we've never talked about restricting the angle. It's always just been about looking at how the vehicle moves through the course and trying to make it clear to the drivers what we're looking for. We were as clear as we could have been that day about that situation. The drivers even asked specific questions about it, and we answered them very clearly. But if a driver decides to disregard what we say, or there's an error or a mistake or a mechanical malfunction that causes them to do what Forrest did, then we're going to be pretty strict on it because we were very clear about don't do it.
Do you know what I do when something breaks on my car and I don't do well? I blame it on you guys.
Yeah,
I do too, actually.
Yeah, judges made a fucked up call, guys. It was out of my hands. I did perfect. That's what I planned on.
Yeah.
I planned on that type of run. I wanted that to happen, but
well, whatever gets you through the day, Corey.
I know. But you know what though? It's like, how tough is your job?
Easy.
It can be pretty tough.
Cakewalk.
So fucking
I was
easy.
gonna say,
Jensen Argyle
Bada bing,
third.
flip a coin.
Yeah.
That car 2 wins. He picked tails. Bang, next run. Let's do this. Let's
Paco,
crank it out.
Paco, do you have any angle questions or comments?
I want to go back to Paco talking to Gushi about Wisefab again.
No, hold on.
I'd love to hear more of that.
Well, there's the cap, the cap. You hit the cap.
Well, I think Jensen's been gnawing on the bit a bit over
been.
here. Hold on, Jensen. When the judges came to you to ask you what you thought of the steering angle debate to figure out how we should move forward in the sport, what did you think?
I think we need to have a second driver in the car and 2 steering wheels.
Yeah.
Okay.
One does basically if you're the driver, you get the driver's side wheel, and if you're the passenger, you get passenger
side wheel.
It makes sense.
Who's got the throttle and brake?
Well, no, it's flip flopped. So the driver has got the brake, passenger's got the
go pedal.
the loud one.
How many speeds is it?
16.
That was the
speed.
confusing part for me though. Is that for some reason when you proposed this, you said 3 shifters.
Yeah.
So
2 for each seat and then 1 to grab on.
Hang on to .com.
so the seat shifters. Never mind. Let's just move forward.
It's like a trailer hitch.
Yeah.
Hey Jensen, if you can change one thing about the sport of drifting, what would it be and how?
Yep.
Basically, you'd have to do weigh-in type of deal.
Okay.
So you'd have to have a shirt off in your car. No air conditioning with a slice of pizza.
Okay. Who's the fattest guy in drifting?
Alec.
I was gonna say that or Matt Field.
Yeah, Alec or Matt Field probably.
He's a fat ass.
He's a big.
What's that?
He has the tightest suit anyway.
Yeah.
JR
I think what I think is funny is watching
Taekwondo.
that Matt Field character.
Yeah.
I think last year he decided he was going to stand out and go from like a large normal suit to a small youth.
Is there a benefit to that?
Yeah,
Is there a benefit to that? Why would you go to a small suit?
It's cheaper. That you take that money away from your budget and you go into a youth small. That'll get you like rotiform wheels.
How much do you free up money wise going from an extra large?
$16,000.
Holy shit!
That's a lot
That's
of
not
money.
bad. No, that's smart. I didn't think about that. That's why you're so innovative, and that's why you're in the position you are with the FIA. Is you make really good decisions. Informed. And yeah, you're very informed.
They're very educated. I take time. I do my research, and I really figure out.
If you could drift any car, what would it be?
Pontiac Solstice.
What engine?
Well, there's a couple. There's a Caterpillar one that I was looking at for a while, and there's also. Basically it's going to be a diesel no matter what.
Right. True.
So,
Would you do front or rear wheel drive?
front.
Okay. Absolutely. How?
E-brake connected to the front wheels?
No e-brake. I'm not a sissy.
And the judges hate it, Ryan. Right, Ryan? Right.
Judges can't stand it at all.
So
and
I pull
ain't
that.
a sissy.
So what I do is when I go drifting, I show them the e-brake as I'm drifting, saying I
throw it
can't
out.
use it.
Yeah.
Because I pulled
when
it
I
out.
say initiate, I throw the e-brake out the window.
Cram it up your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right. Well, until your next.
Thanks.
Take
Jensen.
one more little
You're
nap.
Love where the
Little
sport's
nap
going.
again. Ryan, Lawnmower Man.
More
Before we move on back to the Gushman, what are there new rules in the Formula Drift rulebook that have been announced, haven't been announced that you want to talk about? Other than we know about the Pro 2 tire mandatory size, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah.
So any comments on that? But also I want to know about Pro 1 rules.
Nothing I can talk about yet. Yeah,
You sure don't want to drop some bombs on our cool podcast?
I better not. I'm going to get in trouble. We've
Yeah.
had a bunch of conference calls. We had one tonight again.
Cool.
Getting everything set for this season. But the Pro 2 tire limitation, I think is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, as we mentioned on a previous episode, these guys don't need to and also shouldn't have 1,200 horsepower cars now because
Absolutely.
that will. Except Corey still thinks he should, but that's aside from the point.
Are you still gonna be doing the explanation of the runs?
Yes.
That's good
Yeah.
news because that was definitely a good thing post
move.
Wangberg Gate. What I know you can't say what new rules have you implemented, but what was the biggest thing that drivers were asking for last year? Well, I mean, maybe not the biggest thing, but what were the drivers asking for? Across the
There's
board?
no clear.
Just a bunch of noise.
No, there's no nothing that they can agree on. Put it that way.
Yeah.
The room is always split anytime we discuss anything. So, what one person says, one person gives you the opposite answer. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's the drivers all have their personal opinions, just like all the fans do. They have ways that they think it should be done, independently. But again, it's generally split 50-50, oddly enough.
Yeah.
So there's we call it the freedom camp and the technical camp.
Okay.
So the freedom camp used to be led by Matt Powers. That was the kind of like the do whatever, bro. And then like
Matt Powers would say that?
yeah, just like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And he'd say, no, but that group was more like let the drivers do whatever they want, and the judges just say who you think won.
The liberals.
Yeah, the liberals. There you go. And then the other side was we want computers, we want all kinds of drones and things watching what's going on. We want all kinds of technology in the car.
Who was the leader of that side?
Von Gittin was pretty vocal
Really?
about it. Yeah.
Do you think he still is today?
I think he's less
Yeah.
vocal or less wanting it that extreme. He still does want technology, and I don't blame him. And we're working on trying to implement some technology as well, not to judge the event per se, but
See more.
to give us more information. And I think that's what he was really going for in terms of what technology we'd like to see.
Well, the first time I think we had you on the show, we talked to you about adding more cameras just for the judges, not even for the live stream. Is that something that is thought about or implemented, or can you say or not say?
No, well, we always try to set the live stream cameras up so that we can see really well. That's kind of the first consideration. And of course, Shabin wants to make sure that he can see, he gets the right footage for the show as well. But generally, it's what we need to see that's more important.
In which side of those two sides that you mentioned would you consider Gushi to be?
Gushi?
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't talked about it.
No, I want to hear
actually.
what you think he is.
What
and I want to
I
hear
think?
what Gushi thinks he is.
I think he's a freedom dude.
Are you freedom, dude?
Yeah, look at him.
God.
Gushi, how do you think FD should be judged? What's this guy doing wrong?
Huh?
What is Ryan specifically this man?
How long is your show? How much time do you have?
Are you one of the dudes that pull him aside at the end of every round and give him a licking in his ear, lick his earlobes?
I don't actually.
As they say?
No, I tried to a few times. I think Canada, I tried to talk to them, but they were too busy talking to other drivers. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah, there's a lot of pissed off
whatever.
people in Canada.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
was
you know.
Hank Hill? What's his name?
Bobby.
No, what's his name?
Hank Hill?
No, the SC.
Oh, more.
Yeah, Cameron Moore.
Yeah.
He had some issues out there with Matt Field, didn't he?
I wasn't there for that run.
You didn't go to Canada.
I did.
He
Oh, you
did. He didn't watch
I
every
didn't
round.
watch it. Yeah.
I heard that was a pretty big debacle.
wait. Let's
Hold on,
rewind.
Yeah. Let's talk.
It's just funny how you guys said Bobby from the
Bobby.
King of the Hill, and I
Yeah.
just thought of him. Real
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought that was
No, it's
funny.
okay. We'll have Goosh on the topic though. What do you want to see from the judges? Well, I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
What is
let's be real.
specifically Ryan Lanteigne doing to screw you up? But not
Right.
really. What do you want
I
to see
don't,
from
I
the
don't think he's
judges?
doing anything to screw us over. I
Yeah.
mean, they're constantly thinking of ways to improve the sport and the
Absolutely.
judging criteria and to make it easier for fans to understand and, of course, the drivers to, understand why they lost or how they won. I mean, obviously, no one's going to complain that they won, but especially when they lose, they
I
wanna-
would. Go on.
Especially when they lose, they want to have a solid understanding of why they lost so they don't make that same mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I've been on that side of the table where I have to judge a amateur
Right.
event. And
Yep.
sometimes I'm seriously like lost. I'm like, I'll just choose this guy because I really
You're gonna
can't
break.
tell
Oh, that's
this guy.
terrible.
It is
Ken will
terrible,
never be
but
hired
I
to
was
judge
gonna
an
say,
event again.
That's what I'm
That's
saying
terrible.
what I'm saying is it's that hard
It's
of
tough.
a
Yeah.
position to be in to be able to pinpoint every small detail that the camera can't pick up or the audience can't pick up.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they're doing anything wrong, and I think they're doing the right thing to help evolve the judging aspect of the sport. But like you said, I am more of that freedom movement guy where we should drive and let the driving do the talking. But I do agree that it's come to a level where they do require some sort of technology or some...
Corey just ripped his mic off the table. Have you been working out, dude? I'm so excited. Oh my god!
Wow.
Corey,
sorry.
obviously Corey has something to say.
That's nice.
But,
No, I was going to ask. So have you driven in? Obviously, you've driven outside the country. Like, have you done a D1 event or?
The only D1 I did was back in 2004 when they came for the U.S. versus Japan.
This thing's fucking smoked. But okay, so
Just hold it the whole time. Just hold it.
So what I want to ask you was how different was. Well, each place has their own different judging style.
Yeah.
How is it going from something like that, like let's say a D1 or something, compared to this?
Well, at the time it was.
And on a second note to that, why do you think sometimes the D1 drivers who come to FD have a hard time making it?
When I was competing in D1 back in the day, it was all about, what they felt was cool at that moment. So it was Tsuchiya Keiichi, the Drift King. It was all up to his emotional feel, like what he saw and whoever he thought was the better driver, even though he made mistakes.
He was the dictator of drifting. And
yeah, he kind of was. And I didn't agree with that.
Right.
If he got his favor, he would give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And
yeah.
Yeah, cut his head off.
And there was not a single, source of technology, or there was no way to determine
why,
or you just kind of shrugged it off and say, well, I guess that's it.
He gave me the call. Yep, I lost. Son of a bitch.
I hate to start this idea, but let us know in the comments or elsewhere if you'd like to see Jensen as the dictator of judging.
Nice.
And this end all be all. Doesn't matter. It might be the most senseless thing, but if you appease Jensen with your driving and your run, you win.
If not, Iron Fist.
Iron
rule
Fist
with an Iron Fist.
But yeah, you could do that. You could lay down the most dope ass run, but then if the other guy just plows into the wall full speed,
he wins.
That's automatic advancement.
Yeah, he wins.
That's an advancement.
So if that's what you'd like to see in judging, let us know.
Plus Underglow. Underglow goes a long ways with me.
I think Vaughn was the
That
only
was
one
a
that still was
fad.
running it.
That was a fad
Vaughn
once in a
still
while.
runs. He didn't this year, I think. I don't remember that much. I think last year he still had some green under his
It's just on the rears.
yeah.
So anyway, to answer your second part of the question, why D1 drivers come over and they don't do so well, is because the judging style is completely different.
And that's what I want to try to understand. Yeah, what's the big deal?
I mean, I haven't driven in D1 for a couple of years now, but from what I understand, especially with my friends like Daigo competing in D1, they're telling me that it's all about speed and cutting the line, just getting to the chase and just sticking it right to the door. Even if you have to cut the line entirely, you just have to stick it inside. So
Less angle, more door to door.
less angle, more door to door, but the lead car is also allowed to cut the line to a certain degree. Obviously, they're not going to have a whole car length in the inside line, but
they're not.
They're obviously not running the outside line.
They're not as punished for not running the perfect line.
Right, and then in Formula Drift, on the contrary, we're forced to run the outside line. Otherwise, we're deducted points in the lead position. And also with the chase, when we're in the chase magician. The chase magician.
I was one of those for 6 years.
Hocus pocus.
Yeah, it was nice.
The chase position, we're points are deducted if we're in the chase position.
Oh, and let Ryan have the mic back.
Here you go.
Jensen.
Yeah, Judge, come on.
There are no points in tandem.
Well, I mean, we're scrutinized.
There are
We're at a disadvantage.
There are mental points. They're not like monetary, unit points. Not monetary, you know what I mean. There's not actual points, but yeah, there is a tally in your head. Like this is a dinger. This is a dinger. Is that what you call them? Dingers?
On my notes is where the
Where are your
tally
notes?
is done.
You don't even have them right now. Sorry, go on, Ken.
So it's frowned upon that you cut the line.
Yeah.
In the chase position. Why can I not
But
say that today? Chase
Paco
position.
has a hard time saying things too.
Position.
There you go. You just learned from
Nailed it.
Espanol.
So I think those are the main differences between D1 and Formula Drift.
What do you have a preference?
Yeah, Formula Drift is the way to go. I
Nice
think.
job,
It's-
Now earmuffs, Ryan, real quick. Earmuffs. All right, he's not listening. Now, do you have a preference?
Okay, go ahead.
I still think Formula Drift is the way to go.
What do you want to see changed in Formula Drift judging?
I just
That's a question for both you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Ken first, because I don't want him to try to S this guy's D.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to
Not literally, metaphorically.
Well, sometimes I feel like it's hard to justify how a certain driver gets, pole position or first place, second place or third place. Sometimes it's extremely close.
In qualifying?
In qualifying, yeah. That there's just no way to see how that guy scored 1 point or 2 points higher than the other guy.
Especially when there's like 3 90-point dudes.
One of those.
Yeah.
There's like 3 90-point guys and
one gets like an 89.5 or something like that. I mean,
0.5, huh?
Or 89.5, yeah. But I just, it's you just can't help it. That's just
how
the
do you
way
fix
it's
it though?
judged.
Yeah, so you're just complaining without a solution.
Yeah. Well, I'm not complaining. It's just
Ryan. She's like, yeah, fuckers.
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing that they did cool on the live stream, I believe, is they matched they matched the runs. If it was a lead and chase run, you guys didn't do it for qualifying, but you were able to match. Oh, this is why Chris Stops did better than so and so in that run. Is like, here, let's play both runs. And I thought that was a great feature. And then obviously you giving the play-by-play was another great thing.
So you should do all 32 drivers in one grid on the screen and show why each point is which, and then people can highly debate it and shit on.
But I'll tell you what sucks about that is it shouldn't go to that degree, but
maybe have every driver go at once. Yeah. And you can decide. Jensen's down with this. Yeah. Then you can decide who does it best.
Well, they did toy with the idea of having like a jam session. I'm just doing a free practice.
Yeah. Like there would be a massive wreck within 3 minutes. Yeah, guaranteed.
Well, you divide it into groups, so each group would have 5 cars.
Massive wreck in 3 minutes.
Yeah. There'd be 12 cars out there.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, what is it?
Yeah. What?
If you could change anything about your judging platform or about the series in general, what would it be? If you could.
For the judging side, I'd like to have more information. So right now we have replays and we have our eyes watching live, and that's really all we have. We have different brake lights on the car. We have one on the rear window and one on the front window. But
all this is in consideration to keeping the show going too. You can't just sit there analyzing a run for 10 minutes. So that's the big issue.
It's trying to get information to us quickly and efficiently, and the more information we can get in a short period of time, the better. So if I could have not a speed gun, because a speed gun isn't accurate, and in tandem it picks up the higher of the two cars' speeds. So that is inaccurate as well. So you'd have to have some kind of
data logger on board.
Yeah, but it would have to feed to us instantaneously, or give us an average, or give us a sector, or
something that maybe you could scrub. I'm thinking video terms here, but you could scrub and review the run, and you could look back at both drivers and be like, all right, this guy was 70 miles an hour on his lead run, and the guy was 68 miles an hour. And that's getting to the techno side, which Gushi is not. He's a freedom fighter.
Well, it's not to know who's going faster. It's to know if when the lead driver makes a mistake that causes the chase driver to either spin
down.
or hit. Yeah.
That's actually a really good. That's very important though, because there's been so many decisions I feel over the past few years that we've been looking critically at this sport. Is just that who caused this? Yeah. I feel like that's always the biggest game. That is always the thing that pisses off dummies and smart guys alike in the audience. Is just who caused this?
Yeah. Did the chase driver surge and smash into him, or did the lead driver make an error, or purposefully slow down, or whatever it might have been? If we could have more information like that. But again, like you said, it has to be quick. I can't sit there and wait for that data to be transmitted and then look at it afterwards, and it's got to be quick.
But in this day and age, it's past year 2000, guys. Like, is it that hard to get up to date data live and recordable to your booth that shows the shit you want to see?
Of course it's available, but you're talking big money.
How big?
I don't know the exact numbers, but certain series have it. Formula One has it, NASCAR has it, but
they make.
You talk about the amount of money that they have for that. Just implementing a system like that would be pretty expensive.
I'm just curious how expensive though.
You can imagine that each car is going to have to have its own transponder. Each one is going to have to be equipped with 3G meters. One left to right, one front to back.
Sure, I'm just wondering wait.
All that also needs to be constantly connected to the internet.
Yep.
To be able to upload the information reliably.
It does add, of course, room for failure.
Yeah, there's a lot of complexity.
It adds complexity and money. I'm just wondering at what point does the sport need it to grow?
No, I understand that, and I think that it's something that's going to be coming soon that we're really going to need.
Hopefully, when
with
it's
the
more
level that we're
cost.
getting at.
Yeah.
And he brought up good points. It's you need 1 unit per car.
Right.
A lot of it can be tricked with the angle. So trying to measure angle is really, really difficult.
Right.
Throughout a run. That's one thing that we'd love to have. That would be. You'd be eliminating so many questions. It's like, well, here's the data.
Even if we just had gas
X
and
amount
brake,
of angle.
though. I mean, then you could see if this guy sandbagged or this guy was still on the throttle. And
But
then,
again, it's all in the communication. So you know as well as anybody here, if you're at an FD event, at the peak of the event with 15,000 people in the area trying to use their cell phones at the same time,
right?
Trying to get that cellular network to work is
If that's what that network is, I don't
difficult.
really know.
That can be tough.
And then if for some reason that fails on one car, then the whole judging it's unfair.
Yeah, if you
for that particular case.
If you rely on that technology and then it isn't there, then obviously that is a huge
So
mess.
we would never implement it in a way that we wouldn't be able to judge without it. It's not like that data would be fed into a computer that would then come up with a score.
Yeah.
It would be more of
just another tool for you to look at.
Hey, we have that, an issue occurred on track. What happened? Well, look at this. He slowed down.
Yeah.
His angle was really poor. He whatever.
You might not even look at it unless like all the judges pulled out their keys and opened up the black box. And,
Exactly,
you launch
yeah.
the nuke codes essentially, and like you all look at this
We
like, all
all-
right, we
yeah.
really need to get to the
We
bottom
need
of this
this.
run.
Yeah.
But I think at least a GPS signal that indicates if you're accelerating or decelerating on certain areas, that rather will take completely away the whole you decelerated here. It's like, no, I was completely on throttle. Well,
No,
it doesn't
it shows,
matter,
yeah.
because the amount of angle you were putting, it was scrubbing a lot of speed, which brings us again back to
but Kevin
that issue.
Kevin Wells has been working with actually a mathematician.
Kevin Wells, former the Drift technical. What's his official title?
Technical advisor?
Technical director.
Technical
or
director.
something
Yeah,
like
Kevin
that.
Wells, tech guy for FD.
So he's been working with a very intelligent mathematician to try to figure out a way to record or figure out accurate speed. And the problem with cars that rotate like that, figuring out which way the vehicle's traveling and getting the speed in that direction, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I know it seems simple. It's just, figure out how fast the car's going.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And he's been working on it for a couple of seasons now to try to perfect it and get to a point where we can either have speed or a light or something to let us know what's going on with the car. It's getting a lot closer, and we might be able to test something soon. Hopefully that we can implement shortly in the series that will give us another tool to help
I'm
us
not sure
judge.
what you mean when you say speed or a light, as in a light on the car physically to let you know.
XL, decel, or a slowdown, or anything like that. Again, we're trying to perfect it and figure it out. So.
And again, the difficulty for those people saying like, "What the fuck? Just do it." Is like because once you open that door, it needs to be reliable. It needs to be consistent,
and it needs to be fair for everybody as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we fall into the black hole that we always get to. Is we've got always great ideas, but none of them are easy.
The good
None of them
thing
are
is
easy. the good thing is then we can just look at Instagram, right?
the questions are pouring.
Yeah. Okay. We got pouring questions as
Which
they
way?
say.
Questions
pouring
from
in.
the fans for these beautiful three ladies.
Oh, hold on, if we can be real quick. Jensen over here, I see him biting his lips. He's been itching at the bit, biting on the lips, as they say. Well, so Jensen, when you started drifting in America, did you ever think that the judging would get this complex?
Back in '96,
Can you touch it? Can you get the mic in your mouth, please?
Oh, hold on. Mic check 1 2.
Yep.
Okay, so back in '96,
Yep.
when I started drifting, I had a 24 valve, Pontiac Sunfire.
Mm-hmm.
It was fast.
Yeah.
Had all the gadgets on it, told me which direction I was going.
Yep.
Had I think it was 6G LTEC network in it.
Yep.
It was
Was
nice.
that Boost Mobile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it all handled.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
So what is the difficulty in implementing that in the sport today?
Well, that car I paid $1.5 million for it.
Yeah.
So I sold it
Yeah.
$6,000.
Obviously people get screwed in the car industry all the time with modified cars. So
Yeah.
but I didn't know that was that bad.
Yeah.
How do you handle a loss? How did you handle that big of a loss?
But this is also why he had to sell Formula Drift to Ryan Sage
Yeah.
and Jim Law. Is
Yeah.
because
I sold that to basically I was having hard times. I sold Formula Drift. I made $1,000. So I took my winnings off of selling my car and then selling Formula Drift, and I bought a van.
Hey.
I live in this van.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not like I drive around and have a
Got
good
it.
time. It's I live in it.
So how often does Formula Drift still come to you for ideas?
It's weird, you know. They came to me with this math problem, and I've been trying to figure it out.
I'm not a math wizard, but I can plug some numbers into this thing, and it might shoot something out.
So you're the
Tough.
hold on, you're the expert mathematician that Kevin Wells has been talking to.
Yeah,
You do all your calculations in your Nokia?
yeah. It's tough, but I get it done. He asked me. Basically, I got a couple fractions I can't figure out. He asked me what pie was. Don't know what that is.
I eat it.
I eat it a lot. I said cherry or blueberry, and that's where we're at.
So what does Kevin think about the
He
situation?
loves it.
He's totally
He
cool.
loves it.
He's totally cool
Yeah, I
with it.
slide that guy a Dr. Pepper here and there, and he lets me get away with whatever I want.
Couple smokes and Dr. P's, and that dude's crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty smart with his numbers.
Pretty much, we're gonna come out with something next year.
What color lights?
They're probably gonna be turquoise.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. We want to thank you for innovating the sport.
Yeah, thanks for still.
you're welcome.
I
It's-
mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate that after you lost the sport that you created, you worked for the FIA for a while.
Yeah.
But now you're the math advisor for Kevin
Yeah.
Wells, and that's.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that you're still able to somehow participate in the sport that you pretty much nurtured in America.
It's tough, okay, but just know if you got a dream, you got to really stick with it. And my dream was math. One day I'm gonna get good at it.
Just watch me.
And
Do you have a timeline on the releasing of the equation?
I plan on kicking the bucket probably around 2020. So hopefully 18, 19.
I'm on my way out the door right now.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling good.
So I'm shooting for soon-ish.
That's good.
I can't put an exact date on it, but
We might be testing something soon.
yes.
Well, thank you for talking to us again. I'm sure we'll touch base again before the end of the show.
For you.
But hold on, let's
We
address
are
these.
super pleased with your
Let's
presence
address
here.
these
Thank you.
You're
Instagram-
welcome.
We got some Instagram questions, and first of all, this photo I just noticed. Ken Gushi looks
Fabulous.
very good. Ryan,
Which picture is this?
this is for our Maximum Driftcast question. So we're
It's just to get people to
we
ask
invite,
questions.
Yeah, we invite the fans to ask questions. I think Ryan wasn't aware a photo was being taken.
I'll start with one.
Yeah, let's say you guys.
I'll start
ready?
with one. This one's for. This is from Mr. Steal Your Dog.
Yep.
Is
He's
Ken
not-
Juicy using anti-lag next year like all the other hot boys?
Well, he hasn't talked to John Hoyho, which we talked to last week, so I doubt it.
Are you on anti-lag next year?
Anti-lag.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what that is?
Yes, yes. Pam, pam, boom, boom.
As they say in Japan, you nippon, a pum pum, a boom boom.
Yeah, no.
Why wouldn't you?
Nitrous.
Yeah, nitrous. What size turbo are you running?
It's a Garrett GTX 4294.
Corey's asking for a friend.
Yeah. Okay. Sam, write that down real quick.
Are you using dumb nitrous or smart nitrous? Like, as in, are you implementing?
Smart nitrous.
So you're
Motec.
yeah. I just mean like you're not just it's not an on-off. You're implementing it like multi-step or what are they? What's the term? Is that the term? Multi-step, multi-stage.
Right, boost dependent and
Yeah.
RPM dependent.
Is it throttle dependent as well?
No, just boost and RPM.
Okay, cool.
Nice. I have a question from Cold Status. It's our friend Chris from AM.
Oh,
Hi, Chris.
hi Chris.
He's a question for Ken. Having run both A86 as well as FRS, or in this case GT86, do you find that drivers must have the newest, most relevant chassis in order to secure funding from the OEMs and other large corporation sponsors? Does the future of FD Pro have a place for the A86 and S chassis? And how do you feel about limiting model years in Pro to newer vehicles?
You have 10 minutes to answer.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I think there will always be a place in Formula Drift to have older platform vehicles
Right.
like S chassis
Like
and
Takayama.
A86s, right?
Until they ban them.
Yeah. Well,
Ryan,
I
Ryan
suppose.
shrugs. He's like, oh, maybe.
You know, the sad truth is we don't have any competitive A86 platforms, but we still have competitive competitive S chassis, S13s, S14s,
Would you say it's because maybe it's a 30-year-old car?
that it's competitive.
That was
or-
a joke. It's why it's not competitive. That was a bad joke.
But does that?
But
Does having a newer chassis helps you secure funds?
Right. So that's my next answer. Is it definitely helps securing a sponsorship, having a car that's marketable, especially if you are a product company that's producing product for that specific platform. For instance, a company like, I'm gonna go back to Wisefab, but Wisefab is not gonna sponsor a driver or a car that's or like a, for instance, AE86 because they don't have any product for it.
Right.
Most non-automotive manufacturers want the latest and greatest product.
I agree.
Latest and greatest drivers, and that always comes with new product that's marketable, drivers and new faces that are marketable. So with that sense, yes, it's easier to pick up sponsorships with a newer platform. But going back, Formula Drift will always have a place for older chassis.
Do you really want to say always though? Because other series have implemented a rule that cars had to be made after a certain year to compete.
Well, let's just say drifting will always have a place
Right.
for older
Drifting will,
platforms.
yes, but maybe in these AAA series, or not AAA, the Pro Series, there will not always be a place for 30-year-old cars.
Well, look at this. Let's say you have Mr. Toyota sitting in the skybox next to Ryan Lanteigne and Jensen, and they say, wow, look at Ken out there in this beautiful FRS, but, he's going against Farouk's 1989 S13. Why does it justify him giving you money when there's cars out there that are 30 years old and beat up? Do you see, do you think there's a balance in that?
Absolutely, but I think that's the beauty of drifting is
Absolutely.
that you can
I agree with
have,
that.
8-cylinder 2016 Mustangs going up against 1986 Toyota Corollas with the 4AG
Right.
turbocharged, or you have obviously my 86 that's a newer chassis going
Right.
against a 1993 Nissan 240SX, and which
Or Volkswagen Passat, as Paco says.
right. And that's the essence of drifting is that you have so many different platforms, so many different engine setups. For now.
Ryan, would you make a year cap on cars?
No.
No.
Why?
I don't see the point right now.
Okay.
Not to grow the sport or make it so new manufacturers are more interested in joining it?
I don't think the older cars being there affects it that much. It
Right.
doesn't. Again, it's like the.
I agree with you. I'm just being devil's advocate.
No, I know. The
Yeah.
fancier series and the smaller series, like having one doesn't affect the other.
Mm-hmm.
But if more manufacturers start bringing new cars in, eventually the other ones will get phased out naturally.
That'd
if
be
that
nice.
happens,
As they wreck all the S14 chassis in the world.
yeah,
Well,
right. There won't be any left.
I think ultimately it comes down to having a safe platform. I mean, you can always make
Right.
an 86 Corolla safe. You just have all the safety tubing, safety roll cages, and of course, they just have to be presentable. You don't want mismatched panels, unpainted bumpers.
Right.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
something that's presentable, something that's safe, something that's competitive.
Right.
Should always have a place to stay in Formula Drift.
I agree with that.
Ryan, are there now or has there been discussion to have appearance standards in FD?
There are appearance standards in terms of bumpers need to be on the car the beginning of the run.
So what if you're a shoestring budget Pro 1 guy, they do exist, and you've broken your only two bumpers, do you give them a go-ahead, or do they get fined? What has that go?
No, later on in the event it's fine, and it does happen from time to time, but qualifying, you definitely need to have your shit together, and then by the beginning of top 32 you should be still fine. Later, as the competition goes on, it does happen that people's bumpers get destroyed. Or
what does the rules actually say about that?
I don't really 100% know, because that's out of my...
Jesus
Right. Well,
Christ.
to sum it up,
Don't
it says
know
your car
anything.
has to be presentable with all body
Yeah.
panels on for
Yeah.
qualifying. And then after that, naturally, it's like you're going to have 5 minutes in between each run, or if you have to qualify. Sometimes you don't have time, so you just fucking throw it in the garbage.
Which obviously we've seen a ton of. I just was wondering if there is a standard existing, or if there has been a talk of having a standard that says you, with the exception of mid-battle, you always have to have a bumper, or if you always have to have bumpers on with the exception of exceptional circumstances.
Yeah, I think that it might be in the rule book. I'm not sure that it's written in that way, or it might just be something that's understood, like, hey, get your car looking decent, have your headlights and taillights in place.
Unless they were just bashed in by.
Yeah, but it happens sometimes mid-event where there's a crash between two cars and one's destroyed.
You have 5 minutes. And
yeah, but it's still drivable. Mechanically it's still sound. So yeah,
Tyler
they're gonna let them
McQuarrie.
compete.
Well, here's one thing that I want to bring up is one of the discussions that we had in the drivers committee last year was the fact that there are a number of drivers that constantly have missing bumpers. Constantly, like every single
Like
run.
who
I'm
would
not
do
going to name
that?
any names,
Okay.
but it's typically those S chassis guys, S14, Matt Field possibly.
Right, I've heard of her.
Someone
too.
should get that guy some more
Conadale.
body kits, huh?
Yeah.
Paco. 2F Performance, fucking shit lane everywhere on track.
But it's just, like
Is it called 2 fucks because you don't give them, Paco?
At this point, we're totally out of fucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt Field always has something going on, like his bumper's missing or
It's
And
'cause he-
Alec Conadale.
That's
and Ollie
Another
Conadale.
fucking 2F guy.
Well, they're both guys that drive.
Yeah, when you drive hard, I mean, it's natural that you're gonna start be missing
Why would you
body
drive
parts.
harder,
Absolutely.
Ken?
Attach them to the car.
Okay, I guess.
No,
Or
don't.
bolt them down.
The thing is, I think it would be a good idea to start taking a tally of who keeps dropping their bumpers, and maybe three strikes, and you get, I don't know, like your qualifying points stripped out, maybe 1 or 2 points.
We
I
say
don't
dropping
know.
bumpers. That seems like a very hard thing to judge, unfortunately. Like, how do you
Well,
determine?
No,
like-
like a bumper flying off.
Yeah,
because-
you're saying that it's improperly secured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
most of these are improperly secured.
It's not because.
Well, you
they're
already
hitting
get docked
first.
for latches and hoods opening. Why won't you get docked if you take off and your fucking bumper flies off?
Yeah, because and I think what you're talking about, for example, it has happened with Alec Conadale when he's just qualifying and there's just a bump, and when he hits a bump, the bumper just kind of gets eaten under the car. Like he didn't hit anything. It's just
You should stop giving that guy
it just-
free bumpers.
It seems like it just fell off. It was. So
give him-
I see what you're saying. Like
I
if it's
don't know.
not because
Love
of
you,
a
Alec.
contact or because of you went too close to the wall, right?
Give them
Right.
more zip ties.
up the show.
When
All right,
give
we
them
got-
bumpers-
Hold on, before I don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole, but this is actually something I want to talk to Lawnmower Man about. I joke now, but we're getting serious for a second. There was the first death in drifting this year.
There was.
In Japan, a poor unfortunate person was hit by, last year. Sorry, it's about the same. Last year in time, someone was hit by a stray wheel. Has Formula Drift, obviously, I imagine discussions have been made at Formula Drift about this.
Of course.
What has been discussed?
Well, that is definitely in Kevin's side of things. As judges, we don't really have a whole lot to do with that
Yeah.
side of things, but we have talked about it a little bit. Kevin has been looking at the safety aspect of every single track that we visit, and he might make some changes to some of the safety standards that we have. As Morgan had pointed out with the FIA, we're at the very top of the list in terms of safe drifting or motorsports events overall, but there are still improvements that can be made, and I think that we'll probably make a few changes this season just to make sure that everything is as safe as it can be.
It's definitely one thing that I've considered greatly, being every drift event I've been to, with the exception of the first one, I have been media and against just a K-rail.
Yeah,
And if a wheel came off in such an instance, the media dude's the first ones to get decapitated.
it's true.
So it's obviously we go out there on our own free volition and we decide to do that because we love doing it, but shit, man.
Yeah.
We always want to get the best angles. We want to be at the best spots, but do we have to be behind safety cage every...
Use your peanut.
Yeah, I mean, use your peanut, of course, but...
And always stay facing action, keep
Yeah.
an eye on everything.
And also look at the trajectory.
Yeah.
Look at where things would be going and just don't stand in that way. It's like, dude, you're standing on the outside of the corner.
The
What do you expect?
wheels and tires, they go weird places when they fly
Yeah,
off,
that's true.
unfortunately.
Just stay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a
Stay
long... We
aware.
can spend an entire show talking about it, but sorry, it was
Yeah.
just a parts flying off cars discussion that I wanted to talk
All
to
right.
with an FD person.
We've got 2 more questions, 3 more questions. I have one for
10 more questions.
this guy over here. Actually, it says question for Guy Fieri. And
Yep.
This is from Stay Foul.
Okay.
Stay foul, first-time listener, long-time listener.
Yep. Are you still doing cooking shows? And do you normally hang out with Japanese trannies and serial killers?
Between Tuesday and Wednesday, I am. Cooking shows are a 9 to 5 for me.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's a good gig. I get to eat what I cook, and not all the times it's good. So
Then you don't eat it.
That's Stay Foul, right?
Yeah.
Go to his. Is that Instagram?
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
his Instagram and click on his first picture. What do you see?
All right, let's see here.
I hope he's in hog heaven.
It's an FD shirt.
He's wearing a Ken Gushi t-shirt.
That's nice.
Is this one of your boys he hired?
Easy.
Oh
yeller.
my God. Let's see.
I've got a good question. This is.
Did you mention anything on it, Ken? You did.
This is stay foul as well, but to be fair, I had this one in the queue for a while. I don't want to answer 2 questions by one guy, but a question for Ryan, the serial killer Lanteigne. FD drivers only. Fuck, marry, kill. Must be 3 different drivers.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, now you're on the other end of
Well,
this.
yeah, you're on the other end. You've always been asking you guys. But
You guys asked me this question, remember?
He did.
Yeah.
That guy did.
Does it have to be current driver?
No.
All right.
No, don't pick me. I didn't do shit.
So
Wait, let's do
fuck
current
would
driver,
be
All right. No, well,
Current
hold on.
drivers.
Well,
we'll do both. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's just see what he says first.
Matt Powers for the sexual
For Mary.
action.
I could see that. He was a stud.
He's just so pretty.
He's a stud.
And he treated me well.
See, I feel like that would be more of a Mary if he treats you well.
No. He treats you well.
Sexually.
he just service.
Mary. Oof. See, the thing is with the judges, there are only 3 of them. It's a quick and easy process,
right.
But now I got to go through like 40 drivers.
Mary, who's going to be the one that's there for you on your
Takes care
deathbed?
of
You know who
Providing.
seems really
Not just providing, Paco,
like
providing
family
emotionally.
oriented and
Odie?
no, yes, but the first person that
No,
came to
Odie.
mind was Tyler McQuarrie. Because he always has his son and his the 2 daughters he has that he brings
Yes,
to the
2
track,
daughters.
right?
I mean, Odie does that too, but whatever.
Yeah, but he always has them at the track, and he takes really good care of them, and they're always jumping around. So Mary would be Tyler McQuarrie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then kill.
Here we go.
Ooh.
I would hope you married Jeff Jones.
Why is that funny?
You know, I think he just lives such a simple life that him and Ryan could just blend together.
Yeah.
I love Jeff Jones.
He's such a beast. Here, speaking of which.
Here we go.
What are we doing?
He's going to do a shameless doc sponsor.
Okay.
There you go.
Go ahead, suck on that for a minute.
Who do I want to kill?
I mean,
Gee.
hopefully it's not a current driver. Otherwise,
If you could kill anybody
Otherwise,
that's left the series, who would
when
it
they
be?
when they get
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, that might be a little bit easier on you.
Somebody who's not current would be
Danny George.
No, Reese Millen.
Yeah!
why Reese?
Because he gave us a lot of shit when he was driving, and
Yeah.
during our track walks. Like little pedantic things where we were trying to explain something and he'd be very specific about something that we were clearly not being specific about that one thing. Anyway, you'd have to
He would
be there.
nitpick,
It's
yeah.
a long
No, I get
story,
it.
but
I
yeah,
get
it was. I think maybe he was trying to give us a hard time.
He's doing the
he did
Bart-
a good job at it.
He's doing the Bart Simpson dogs getting into heaven bit. He's like, well, what if the dog has a peg leg?
Right.
Does his original leg go to
Go to
heaven?
heaven, yeah.
And it's like, dude, like we're talking about race
Fuck
cars
you
right now.
talking about, yeah. What about Jensen? Marry, fuck, kill.
This can be current because you're not judging them. As
Okay. Current, marry, fuck, kill.
Yep.
Wow, it's tough.
It's
Okay.
not bad.
Well,
Come on.
I'd probably marry.
He's getting to
keep
fuck.
me out of
He's
it.
getting to fuck in a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep me out of it.
Yeah.
And you can't pick Ken Gushi.
Yeah, you cannot.
Okay, well, I guess all 3 are out for me then. I would marry. I'd probably marry a Forsberg
Why?
because he's. I mean, I'd never have to worry about him stealing my clothes.
Because he wears a small.
Yeah. So that's nice. That's nice.
That's nice. Okay.
I would fuck. Jeff Jones.
okay. Typical.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then I would kill Jeff Jones. I would kill probably Matt Field.
Ooh. Why kill Matt Field?
It'd be fun. It'd be all right.
You think he would bleed the best?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would put up a little bit of a fight.
Yeah. He's
And
feisty.
Yeah, and I'm
How would you go about doing a candlestick in the library?
nope.
How?
Smother him.
With what? Your
With what?
breast?
Yeah. I'd stick him between mine or yours.
You just have a motorboat and you suffocate him with it?
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
the plan. Or what I would do is I would trick him into getting into his car, and then I would fill it with jelly.
And drown him in jelly.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
What kind of jelly? KY or blueberry?
Butterscotch. As a form of KY.
Here, thank you, K-Bye, for all you do.
Thanks,
for me.
Jensen.
All right, let's hit a couple quick ones here. Kensington Prime says, for Ken, huge fan. I remember you shot a video of your dad's helmet up front on display, but he had you helmet in the back.
Yes.
Has he add more stuff of yours to the front?
None at all. But he did have another. He did add another helmet. I just bought him one, and he put that one up front.
And on display where? What's he talking about?
In front of our shop, we have a glass display case where he collects all these memorabilia from his past races and trophies and whatnot. But he displays all his cool stuff and kind of just leaves my stuff in the back of the shop where no one can see.
That's nice.
Also, quick follow-up from Race Course stuff for Ken.
Yes.
Do you think Alec Honadell has taken your crown for most beautiful driver?
Most beautiful? I don't think so, but youngest driver possibly.
Yeah, now we're talking.
The juice is loose, boys.
Debatable.
Here, you should hit Ryan with this one.
Which well, you hit it.
Here you go. No, it's from Colt Status. I was a big fan of bringing a judge into the announcer's booth to help give a real-time explanation of why certain calls were made. What else can we see in the near or not too distant future? Implement that can both appease the diehard fans without alienating the new fans that are crucial to FD growth. Wow.
I think we talked about that already, kind of like.
A little bit, but maybe sum it up in just a sentence. If there's anything in the future that you think you could implement or next year, something to look forward to as far as pleasing the diehard fans, but also not alienating the new fans with knowledge.
It's a very simple question.
Yeah.
Just answer it.
Like one answer, quick, one-liner. Well, we're trying to get a little bit more information out to the fans. By me explaining things, I think we give, like you said, a quick, live action shot from our brains. What are we seeing? What do we like? What do we not like? But we're going to maybe try to give a little bit more information with some artwork, if you want to call it that. Just some
You giving Jensen some crayons?
Yeah. Just a couple of little quick drawings just to give examples of what is good and what is bad.
Like the Independence Day doodle on sketch, like here's how we travel, here's how we get to the satellites. The
That's
equivalent
it.
Event Horizon. Here's how we do light speed.
Like crossing over. Yeah.
You poke a hole in the paper.
No,
but
the paper. You fold a piece of paper
Yeah.
and you put a pen through it.
So you're gonna have a camera on a whiteboard and then show that. Is that what you mean?
No, it'll be more like I will have drawn it on a computer kind of thing, and then
Use
it'll be
computers
like
up
go
there?
up on the screen, and
Yeah.
hey, this is kind of what we're looking for.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
You should do like a real time button of what the judges are thinking. It's like a dial. It's like a dial that you turn, and you're like, "Oh, I like this. I don't like this."
You guys tried that.
Might not want to see that.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
Ken, fuck, dude, where were you?
Sorry.
That one.
We got one from the Dukester, first time caller, last time listener. Iron Dickey says, "What are your?" This is for both of you.
What?
Ken, don't fall asleep. Wake up. He says, "What are your predictions?" We're gonna end the show soon, dude. Just
Don't
stay
worry.
awake. You
I'm
got 5. Iron Dickey says, "What are your predictions for the 2017 season? What big controversy will happen? Who will win the championship? Also, what's your favorite hairless mammal that isn't Ryan Sage?" Think about that one last. Let's focus on 2017 predictions.
Yeah.
2017 predictions. What big controversy? There won't be any, I'm sure.
None.
And who will win?
Me.
Okay, what's your big prediction? So that's both your big prediction and who will win, Ken?
I'm gonna win.
And what
Fucking A.
controversy will happen? How are you gonna? Are you gonna win by killing every other driver with your good looks?
Yes. I'm gonna win. Let's see. I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest upset is going to be
When you
there
win.
will be no energy drink drivers in the top 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
I cannot. It'll be crazy if that happens, because if it does, then we will.
I just smoked your ear, Ryan.
Jeff
Jones is
saying
gonna be
that
the only
Jeff
dude.
Jones is gonna be on top there.
With the doc.
And I honestly, even though I'm not a true journalist because I'm on a Maximum Driftcast show, but I want to have some small amount of integrity, but I don't want to ask Ryan Lanteigne who's going to win the championship, because I don't think you should say he's going to win the championship.
No, I don't do well with predictions, and I don't really make any anyway.
You should not, because if you said a thing and then later on that thing did or did not happen, then there's some shit. So,
Yeah.
but I don't want you to answer that.
But it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler alert from the script.
Yeah,
the script,
exactly.
yes, that we have been working
But
on.
what are your predictions for the 2017 season in a more broad sense, and what big controversy will happen that I'm sure you'd like to hope to avoid, but what will happen?
Yeah, controversy, I always worry about weather. So I think that is going to play in somewhere.
It literally, what was it, 5 out of 7 or 5 out of the 8 rounds
Yeah,
this
a
year?
lot,
I think
yeah.
we got some rain.
So Long Beach was a bit of
Oh my God.
controversy this
I would
year
say
because
shit
of that
show
rain. Yeah.
initially,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think weather is going to play a big part. And Ken, we were talking about Montreal yesterday and how slippery that track is when it's wet as well.
It was the worst.
Yeah,
wasn't Long
it's-
Beach worse though because
No,
of parking
Canada
lot?
was
Really?
way worse.
How?
So
Why?
I think that
Just
Long
asphalt
Beach
composition?
was slippery over a large portion, so you could get used to it.
Gotcha.
Montreal, that's the track I learned how to drift on, but I competed there as well. And that straightaway where they do drag racing, the drag racing start, when it rains, you can slide on your feet. That's how slippery it is. So imagine in a car trying to go, 60 miles an hour through there.
Yeah.
It is sketchy. And it kind of sneaks up because the rest of the course, there's traction. And then all of a sudden there's absolutely nothing. So it's very scary.
And there's nothing to be done about this, of course, other than just do a long hold, or do you
you
hire a huge those Russian jet engine turbine things heat up and blow away the
just melt all the water.
yeah.
Or melt all the glue and everything out of
I was
there.
actually thinking about that. I mean, is that a feasible? Is there such a machine that can be rented in all the rural places we go?
The problem is if it's raining, actually raining.
Right.
Yeah. If
But a
it
lot of
rains and stops, then you could theoretically dry it off. But
a lot of I feel like we often don't drive in the hard rain as much as we just drive in just puddled areas.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those areas where you just throw the car sideways and hang on. You're not really in control at that point.
So that's your prediction for the 2017 and your controversy, or do you have another controversy and or prediction? Because I could fit into both.
Yeah, I don't really have a controversy that I can think of other than something happening with weather.
What's someone going to get pissed about the most? What's the first? No, let's simplify that. What's the first complaint you're going to hear in 2017 at Long Beach? I'm sure. What's the first complaint?
Why did I get that score?
And what are you going to tell them?
Shove it up your ass.
The truth.
Yeah, you got that score because
pull out my notes.
Hey, you got him.
And I'm going to tell them what I wrote down.
See, because you're just right now, you're holding out your hands like there's a piece of paper, but there were no notes. Is that what you're going to do the driver too?
Yeah. Based on what I see here, yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. I can't say that.
Awesome. So let's end the show with Jensen.
Let's
giving
do
us.
that.
All right, Jensen. So we're wrapping it up. Let's give us your predictions for 2017 and your controversy, and that's a wrap.
Well, controversy. Kevin and I have been working a lot. In
Kevin
the
Wells,
off-season.
the
Yeah,
tech.
Kevin Wells. He and I we work very closely to piggyback off of your rain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we're working on car umbrellas, so that way you don't have to worry about getting wet, and it's just you're always going to have traction.
For the tires, you mean?
Yeah, it goes over the wheel wells.
So it keeps the rain out of your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to be done, but we're working on it. So
What kind of numbers have you had to punch for this?
a lot of fractions, a lot of decimal points.
Yeah.
We did multiplication one time.
Yeah. How many umbrellas do you think you'll need for next year?
1,300.
Is that per car or per
1,300
per
car.
event per
Yeah,
car?
Yeah, exactly. So, and we're also working on rain retarded tires.
Okay.
So, you got to dip them. You got to dip them before you mount them. So,
Is that in silicone?
yeah. So they're rain retarded.
You ever been consulting with Denofa about tire dips?
Yeah, and that, I mean, he does really well with drive shafts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been working on that because if you can't.
Well, you dip them, then glue them.
Yeah, dip them, glue them, run it, umbrella it,
Pack it.
pack it up, and you're out of here.
What's going to be the biggest controversy of 2017?
There's going to be 3 winners.
Okay.
So there's going to have 3 first place. You're going to have there's not going to be a second place. Then it's go third and fourth. So
Wait, hold on.
So they're getting rid of second place, and there's first place, third, and fourth, because there's no such thing.
Well,
as
it's 3
second.
thirds.
Yeah.
yeah,
3/3.
yeah. So
Who are they going to be?
a lot of people.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know that everyone's always talked about the Formula Drift script, like WWE, like they have a script.
Yeah.
Obviously, Formula Drift obviously has a script. I think that a lot of people don't know that you write that script.
Yeah, it's a tough because I don't spell really well.
Right.
So
Right.
Well, that's why it gets confusing for the judges
Exactly.
sometimes. Like these battles take a long time to consider because they're just trying to figure out what you wrote down.
yeah,
read it.
a lot of it's pictures that I drew. So, I mean, there's a couple squiggly lines, which will be Matt because he wears that tight suit.
Yeah.
Squiggly line.
You're showing the heat radiating off his body.
Exactly. So, this year I'm gonna try to be more precise on my pictures.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm not using just a crayon. I've been asking the FD guys if I can get some colored pencils, maybe
A bigger budget for that.
Yeah, and they're working on it. So I think as soon as we get some good pens in there, we can have a defined winners. All three of them.
That's good point.
Those are some very good points.
Tough job. Someone's got to do it. Me and Kevin got it handled. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, look for umbrella tires.
Anything else? Guests to our show. Beautiful,
That's it.
wonderful guests.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming.
I had a lot of fun.
Ken Gushi on
Ken Gushi.
Instagram.
Ken
Ryan,
Gushi.
what's your Instagram?
Lawnmower Man.
Lanteigne.
Lawn-
Lawnt.
Tang.
It's a weird-
It's like Tang.
It's how you pronounce my last name.
Lanteigne.
Lanteigne.
I'm the Drift Idiot.
Drift Idiot. Corey Hosford. Tree Standard. Paco.
Dajiban.
Dodgy Bun. Oh. And we also, of course, have Jensen Argyle as Jensen Argyle. And also, we want to quickly plug
No. It's Crop Dustin.
Crop Dustin. But don't you have
Crop _ Dustin.
I know. That's him.
Yeah.
Crap Dustin.
We want to also quickly plug, though, that we now do have a Patreon that we did start. And if you've made it this far in the episode somehow, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
If you want to give even $1 to our Patreon, Maximum Driftcast, www.patreon.com, Maximum Driftcast. $1 would make a huge deal. We have big packages for other stuff. You get some free shit. And I guess not free if you're paying for it, but you get some stuff in there. But not necessary. Don't feel like you have to do this. Spend money on your shitty drift car instead. We're happy you listened. Thanks for listening to the whole episode.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you on the next
Episode.
I feel I should be a Canadian and apologize for everything that we just said and did. I'm sorry.
So polite. Good night.
Bye.